Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you are watching first part of What If Naruto Becomes Hinata's Slave. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Kyuubi attack, October 10th. Sitting at his desk, the 4th Hokage is completing his seal. He believed he would never use the seal. He understood why this was necessary. He would have to do the unimaginable for the Hidden Leaf's safety and future. Hello Kakashi. Hello Lord Hokage. I told you not to call me that. Of course. Sensei. My apologies. Minato laughed and said, I'd demote you if I wasn't going to die. That was his final joke with his pupil. Kakashi was all too familiar with this. You know that was about as funny as Kushina's pranks. Anyway. How close is it? Minato asked with a return of seriousness. We estimate it will arrive at our walls in 10 minutes. We have been trying to hold it back, but this creature is so much stronger than I thought it was. This is gonna be bad if it gets here. 10 minutes. Ha! Plenty of time for me, Kakashi. Tell everyone that by my order they're to retreat to the walls of the village. You are dismissed, Kakashi. Right, Lord Hokage. Kakashi disappeared, and then a kunai appeared behind him, embedding itself in the wall. When his door was knocked on, Minato continued his seal. He asked himself, who could that be? Come in. His closest confidant, Hyuga, appeared as the door opened. He would at least be able to see him before then. Hello Hyuga. Lord Hokage. Nice to see you again. Not you too, Hyuga, please. Call me Minato as my final wish of you. As you always have, even now this is still time for informalities. Of course then, Minato. Thanks. Holding his finished seal in his hand, Minato got up and moved toward the window. Are you really going to go through with it? Sacrificing yourself to seal the demon into your son? Please reconsider this. Without you, I don't think your family cannot raise your son alone. She loves you and doing this would. He was interrupted mid-sentence. I have to. For the sake of the village. I have to give Naruto a chance to be what I always wanted him to be. Please Hyuga. You know, as Hokage I have to do what I feel is right for everyone. Not just Kushina. If I did, I'd be a selfish person. She wouldn't like it. She knew that wasn't my style. But Minato. Please. Hyuga. This is my fate. I know what I'm doing, friend. Please believe in me, as you always have. Very well. You really are the one, Minato. We've always known. Even if Kushina's dream, we've always known you were destined for this. Getting the girl was a bonus. Yeah, I suppose so. By the way, how's your wife? She is doing well. What about Kushina? Hyuga had to laugh because it was the only way to conceal his sadness and the best way to say, you know her. Never a dull moment. Godspeed, Minato. I'll make sure your promise is kept. Thank you, Hyuga. Minato turned to face him, anticipating a handshake, but Hyuga was taken aback when Minato gave him a hug instead. Minato turned to go, but he stopped when his foot landed on the windowsill. You were my greatest rival. And my best friend. Halfway through, he paused and called to Hyuga once more. Hey Hyuga. Do me a favor. Yes Minato, anything. Try not to be too hard on the little guy. He's my special boy after all. Yes. I will. You have my word. He disappeared after saying, thank you. Goodbye Hyuga. Live long and prosper, my friend. Hyuga wiped away the tear that had fallen from his cheek and braced himself for the ordeal of dealing with the civilian council. He will take care of his son and not disappoint his rival and best friend, by any means. The following day, Hyuga was eagerly awaiting the return of the third Hokage, who had been reinstated. He had called the council to inform them about the boy, but he omitted the information that his father was the fourth. To the dismay of numerous council members, he essentially informed them that the child, a Jinchuriki, was their savior. As a result, some people wanted to use the child as a weapon, while others asked for its death. However, before they could say anything more, Hiruzen silenced them. The elderly man believed that this child's destiny was in his tiny hands. Unfortunately, though, the residents of the Leaf were furious. What was Minato's motivation? Instead of putting the demon in a cage, why didn't he simply kill it? It would be an understatement to say it was dissatisfaction. Down with the demon. It must die for the sake of the village. Kill it. And they yelled, kill the demon. When Sarutobi raised his hand, everything fell silent. My people, please. Listen. Our fourth Hokage did what he could to save your lives. You must not scorn nor jeer at his actions. If none of you accept this, then so be it. But as Hokage I command the respect he deserves. For this reason I am passing a law to this village. No one, and I mean no one, is to speak of this again. Ever. This is for the good our home. Remember that. He left the crowd. After leaving the podium, he entered the council chambers, where there was a lot of conversation going on. They had muted themselves as they turned to face Hiruzen. It was Danzo who broke the silence first. Danzo wanted to know what had happened, so he asked, how did it go? They did not accept Naruto as their savior, more like a monster. I see. These people must have taken Minato's actions the wrong way. So it would seem. Makes me wonder how they would treat the boy from now on. I had heard that the second Raikage has already acquired a Jinchuriki, of whom we do not know, but we do know that the beast is no deadlier than the fox. Danzo, what do you suggest? I merely offer my assistance in this matter. I will train the young Sarutobi to become strong and Konoha his weapon. Despite the opinions of many rational people, Danzo was widely accepted. Danzo, I don't think so, the elderly man said. Hiruzen, how are you going to approach this? What are you going to do? I don't see you sharing your opinions or offering any recommendations. Hiashi took advantage of the situation and said, I don't know, but I know you better, Danzo. I will not make this boy a tool. I want him to lead a regular life. Something his father would have wanted. Not to be made a weapon. I have a solution. It was observed that Hiruzen was enthusiastic. Yes, what is it, Master Hiashi? Speak. I could adopt Naruto. Danzo cut the Hokage off before he could say anything more. Danzo had attempted to portray Hiashi's shortcomings. He was aware that he was expecting a child with his wife and would be a first-time father. And just what will you do with him, Hiashi? I doubt you know how to raise the boy. In reality, Danzo was thinking, let's see you try to outwit me this time, boy. Minato said, any means necessary, which made Hiashi sigh. He had hoped not to suggest this. The voices of the council suddenly rang with interest as they said, then how about something else? I could have him become a servant. To serve and protect the Hyuga household. A slave, if you will. Coming from the Hyuga, this was a great idea. Why not call Hiashi master and give him a ball and chain? Was that it? Was that your plan all along, Hiashi? I'll be damned if you get away with it. He was thinking. What if you turn this boy against us, Hiashi? Make him obey you and you alone? Was Danzo's horrifying response. This boy is for all intents and purposes disposed of in this case. He won't disobey me at all. I have many servants in the Hyuga household. Many of which are willing to lay down their lives for us. This is self-taught behavior, Danzo. That should please you enough. Before he could say anything more, Hiruzen interrupted, saying, it doesn't. I object. Then will we have an open vote? I will remind you that pocket vetoes are not allowed in this case. This is something that is too important to revote on. Danzo cursed the elderly gentleman who was inside. You son of a bitch. I knew you'd pull this shit on me. Touché, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Touché. The majority of the more experienced ninjas raised their hands, and Sarutobi glanced around. However, Danzo and the head of the Uchiha clan disagreed. Unfortunately, Hiashi won out. Then, without any more protests, it is determined that the Hyuga family will take custody of this boy, Naruto Uzumaki. No matter. In time. I will get what's rightfully mine in the end. In the meantime, take good care of that boy, Danzo said, clearly upset by this outcome. Because if you don't, I will. Hiruzen called for Hiashi again as the council members left, some of them sporting intrigued expressions. Hiashi. I hope you know what you're doing. Lord Hokage, you know I have only the best intentions in mind. Yes, I am aware, but did Minato intend for the boy to end up this way? Believe me, this wasn't how I wanted it to be, if there was any other way. I know you, Hiashi. I know you and Minato were close. If you really do care for the boy, then I leave this to you. Thank you, Lord Hokage. Thank you so much. Very well then, Hiashi. All you need to do is sign these contracts binding him in your care. You will have to show your council this as well. I really wished it would not have ended like this. Minato would have been a better father than I have. And now with Kushina. At least he'll have a family to live with. A woman knocked on the door, asking for Hiruzen, so he took a pen and signed the paperwork without hesitation. Enter, he shouted, and a nurse entered carrying a small, blonde baby boy with whisker marks on his cheeks and a strange spiral mark on his belly. Hiashi, you will be a wonderful parent. Especially with your child on the way, he said with a smile. Hiashi knew what that mark was. Minato had really done it, he thought. Hiruzen said, say Hiashi, why are you doing this? After taking the infant from the nurse, Hiashi noticed that his eyes were closed and that his stomach was churning. The boy was sound asleep. I've never known you specifically to do this sort of thing. Why now? I have a good reason for this, my lord. The old man asked inquisitively, and that would be? As the tiny hands clung to his enormous index fingers, Hiashi turned to face the infant. With an expression of unexpected happiness, he said, I promised my best friend. In his heart, he knew that he was acting in their honor, in their sacrifice, in their good name. Someday, Naruto. Someday. You will live out your destiny, but for now, rest easy, my boy. Until I call on the time to do your duty. Rest, little one. In the house of Hyuga, a very pregnant wife of Hiashi, Hyuga, Hana Hyuga, said, he's a cutie dear. Just look at his eyes. He has his father's eyes. So adorable. I could just eat him up. Naruto had been carried back to his home by Hiashi. She smothered him in maternal love when she saw the baby, just like any other mother would. Hiashi smiled and said, yeah, you know I always wanted a boy. This crushed any hope Hiashi had as a man. Don't worry, Hiashi, we will try again in a few years after Hinata is born. Besides, I think he can fill that void for now. He sighed as he gazed at the cradle labeled, Naruto. Beside his, he noticed another cradle for her unborn daughter, labeled, Hinata. But you'll have to juggle smothering him and Hinata at the same time, Hana. She pinched Naruto's cheeks and exclaimed, of course. How could I forget such a cute little baby? He's such a darling after all. He saw Hana smile, which made him laugh even harder. He soon fell asleep as his eyes drooped. Hiashi walked out of the room with his wife. Since Hiashi still had to deal with the Hyuga Council, they parted ways. Something he had enjoyed and eagerly anticipated. At the gathering of the Hyuga clan, Hiashi and the clan elders had assembled at the middle of a big round table. He was supposed to inform them of what had happened to this blonde little joyous bundle. An elder stood up to ask him a question. Hiashi, Hyuga, what happened with the boy? Hiashi calmed the background voices that were added by the other council chambers. Hiashi handed them the documents, and they all looked at them critically. The Hokage has let me adopt Naruto as a Hyuga servant. This is the contract that binds him to this household. When they were finished, they were given back to Hiashi, and the elderly man got back up. Is there anything else that you need to tell us about Hiashi? Like, something you might be wanting to show the council, Hiashi. You may not know this boy, we know of the fate of his father and mother. Do not think to use that against us. We know that this boy, this Naruto Uzumaki, is in fact the one thing I had told myself I was never going to see. He's a Jinchuriki. The voices returned with the discord reverberating throughout the brick walls. He will be a well-cared for servant, just like all of our servants, but he will also play special roles in our home. You know this best of all, Kansui, so you don't need to worry about anything. They all stood looking for any indication of dishonesty, and Hiashi laughed to himself because he was the only one with such a strong Byakugan and had long since perfected the art of lying to the Byakugan. Hiashi, is there anything else you would like to add? Elders continued to stare at Kansui as the elderly man spoke. They all got up and left Hiashi to his own devices. If none of you object to these documents, then as of this moment I declare Naruto Uzumaki as the guardian of the Hyuga main family. This council is dismissed. He removed a small memento that brought back memories of the longtime friend and rival he sorely missed. He grasped it and closed his eyes, fighting back the tears that were streaming down his face. Minato. This was the best I could do. I hope you understand, he said. I am so sorry, Minato. I vow that he will never become anything less than what he was meant to be. A hero. After 2 months, Hiashi is rushing as fast as he can to the hospital. Before hearing some news about Hana, he had just concluded a brief branch family meeting. He had been looking forward to this moment. He witnessed Hana and a number of her female relatives helping her. To her delight, she felt Hiashi's hand touch his wife's arm. Hiashi. Thank God you're here. How was the meeting, dear? She was panting. She shouldn't have brought this up now. Never mind that, my dear, is it really time truly? Yep, my water broke, so she's coming today whether she likes it or not. But the last time this happened. Hiashi, you son of a bitch. Fucking get this baby already. I swear to God I will wring your goddamn neck. Get it, you. As the doctors set up everything they needed to give birth around her, she moaned in agony once more. When they were finished, she pushed like an elephant to topple the baobab tree. Come on, Hana, you can do it. Push, breathe, push, breathe. Uji-ood, Hiashi, hee ho 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 hee ho ho ho. Come on, dear. You can do it. Almost there. Hiashi, I swear to God you need to shut the hell up right now, or so help me. www.fuck. Damn you Hashi Hyuga. Hold on just a bit more Hana. Almost there, Hiashi, she's coming. She gave it one last shove, and a tiny baby girl with the distinctive Hyuga eyes was born right in front of her. They both smiled at the weeping infant because she had inherited the Kekkei Genkei. Lord Hiashi, would you like the honor of cutting the umbilical cord? Asked the nurse. He said to Hana, Hana, would you help me? She stuck herself to the young girl by taking the baby from the nurse who was holding up the fleshy tub. Of course dear, she said, kissing his cheek once. Together, they raised some scissors and cut the cord while observing a now calm infant curled up in her mother's arms. Dear, she's so cute, I think she's a very beautiful baby. Yes, indeed, we are very lucky to have her. So are you going to name her with the one we talked about? Asked Hana. Yes. This was the name of a distant relative of mine. I loved her like she was own mother, even though she was my great aunt. The baby caught her eye and she said, hee hee hee. That's so sweet of you Hiashi. She was already asleep at that point. Sleep well, Hinata. Naruto was awake when they brought the infant into the room a few hours later. When he saw Hiashi and Hana enter, he was joyfully kicking and cooing. The little blonde baby started to kick and coo, even louder than before. It's almost like he knows who it is. He placed the infant in her cradle while he sat next to Naruto and said, I suppose he does dear. The boy extended his hand in an attempt to touch her, but he was unsuccessful. He began to complain that he couldn't get in touch with Hinata. Hana had soothed him with a pat on his tiny head. Naruto saw her hand and grabbed it, saying, Naruto. Naruto, you're going to wake up Hinata. As his level of happiness increased, he let out his adorable baby laugh. Hana and Hiashi grinned even more at this. Hana said, I think he likes her. Hiashi said, I think he does. When Hana put Hinata in the crib beside Naruto, she noticed that she was waking up. The infant was only able to look up at Hiashi and maneuver around the blanket when Naruto reached out and attempted to touch it. They both dozed off after a few hours, and Hiashi noticed that Hinata had inexplicably turned to face Naruto, so he turned to face her as well. I think I know what to do now. Time skip. Nighttime, 5 years. In the room next to Hinata's, Naruto was lying down in his bed. He was reflecting on how wonderful his life was while gazing up at the ceiling. Then Naruto felt himself growing drowsy. His eyes briefly closed before he abruptly appeared in a dark area with a cage in front of him. Wow! What a day today. I had so much fun with Hinata today. We played lots of games and did cool stuff together. I think I love my family. Something spoke to him as he gazed at the cage, frightening him. Then he noticed a set of wonderful eyes staring at him and asked, What is this place? A cage? Why am I here? Whoa. Who are you? I suppose you want an explanation. To think Minato had finally sealed me into some worthless little insect. Nevertheless, I may as well make the most of this. Prison. Curiously, he said, Prison? Minato? Who are you? Never mind me boy. I believe you have much pressing matters at hand. What do you mean? He exclaimed, why don't you find out? Before being hurled out of the cage and into the night. Naruto heard something outside his room and abruptly opened his eyes. He made the decision to go look into it. After taking a quick look around, he decided to spend some time in Hinata's room because nothing seemed unusual. This brief encounter with an unfamiliar shadow was brief. As Naruto approached the door slowly, he grabbed the handle and jerked it open, revealing a masked man putting the unconscious Hyuga girl in a sack. The man gave Naruto a startled glance before glaring at him as he fled out the door. What are you doing to Hinata? Who are you? Damn, I was discovered by the brat. Naruto did what immediately came to mind and pursued the kidnapper with all of his strength after he fled out the door as quickly as he could. He tried calling out to the man, but it felt like his throat had just closed, and his small voice was insufficient to stop him because the young boy was losing him. Hinata. Please stop. Hinata, don't leave. Yet. Are you taking her where? No. His legs suddenly became more energetic, and he began to feel a sudden wave of rage wash over him. I want to help her. I want to help her now. I won't let him take her away. As you wish. But don't get carried away boy. You're too young to use my full power. Yet. Naruto ran while observing his body as it started to turn red with chakra. What is this? Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna use it. Here I see OOOME. What the hell? He's just a kid. How is he doing this? the ninja said, observing the 5-year-old boy catch up to him. He threw 3 kunai at the boy, who did not try to dodge, as it pierced his skin. He pulled all 3 out and launched them at the escaping Kumo ninja, who was struck in the leg by one of them due to the extra baggage. Hinata, you bad man. Give it to me now. He cursed again as he dropped his baggage, infuriating Naruto more. Hinata, hold on. He charged in with a jump kick to the head, which the ninja blocked. The man was sent skidding a few feet to the side. What kind of kid is he? How does he have such power? Now forget it. I'd better wrap this up quickly. Even more enraged than before, the man ran at the boy and gave him a quick shock to the shoulder, but it didn't stop him from raking his claws against the man's clothing with his free arm, leaving 3 bleeding claw marks on his chest. Why won't you die, you damn brat? See how you like this? He struck his other arm, paralyzing it as well. Naruto continued using his legs to attack the ninja while also experiencing numbness throughout his body. I have to defeat this guy because this is so good. The same dark voice from earlier said, you better thank me later, boy. I don't do this for your benefit. Then, with a sudden burst of red chakra in his legs, Naruto gained the advantage he needed and used a tripping move to sweep the man off his feet, leaving the kidnapper stunned and angry, but unable to speak. The 5-year-old was defending himself against him in taijutsu, and he knew that it was time to end this. The boy charged at him once more, and he made a quick seal and whispered, Silent lightning strike, Raiden. As he said that, his hand began to glow yellow, and Naruto, not knowing what he was using, leapt at him to kick him. The man was quicker than Naruto, and the just you never made a sound other than the splashing of blood. Naruto felt nothing but the red chakra running through his veins, and when he tried to get up from the attack, he discovered that his legs were completely paralyzed. He lay there as the man revealed himself from the dark mask he wore over his face. He was a ninja from the hidden cloud village. We'll take excellent care of her, so don't worry, boy. Furthermore, we may pursue you after we've finished with her. The ninja went over to pick up Hinata and started to jog away after he whispered this to Naruto, who was shocked to learn that he had let the Hyuga clan down and that he was unable to protect his most valuable member. Tears welled up in his eyes at that moment. His pleas were ignored. No. No. Mother. Father. Help. Help her. Someone. Anyone. Help her, please. Please. Hinata. Before his eyes dipped into the darkness, he heard a loud screaming and some shouting around him. The voice from earlier also spoke up with a little joy. He shouted with all his might. With what little strength he had left, he lay still in the dirt. As I thought. You're not ready yet, am I dead? His injuries were severe, Hyuga. Sama. Speech? And if it weren't for, he probably wouldn't be alive. All right. Am I still alive? His heart and lungs were spared the paralysis. This gave us time to repair the harm to his body and to stop the internal bleeding and wounds he sustained. However, I have to admit that he is a real hero in this case. He managed to survive despite all of this mistreatment. Thank goodness. Are they referring to me? At this moment, Naruto heard Hiashi exhale in relief. He thought. Thank you for all you've done, doctor. Doctor? I'm in a hospital, then. My body is exhausted. Regarding your daughter, Lord Hiashi. Hinata. Naruto screamed, and when his muscles felt like they were on fire, the boy jumped up on his bed and screamed in agony, alerting Hiashi, who rushed into the room and revealed the doctor to whom he was speaking. Naruto. You're awake. Thankfully. Whatever became of Hinata? What happened to her? Please. Let me know. When Naruto tried to get out of bed, Hiashi and a few nurses restrained him, causing the traumatized youngster to start screaming. Give me a break. What happened to her? Please. Tell me. Naruto started sobbing uncontrollably. Mother. Father. Sniff. I sincerely apologize for not being able to. Gasp. Protect her. With tears streaming from his eyes to his cheeks, Naruto pleaded, please. Sniff. Forgive me. Hana tried her best to console the boy, putting her arms around him and giving him all the love she could to bring him comfort. Before Hana could finish her sentence, Naruto interrupted, saying, Naruto, it's okay. No. Sniff. I was supposed to protect her, but I was unable to do so. Sniff. My strength was insufficient to save her. Hana gave Hiashi a nod as Naruto sat there in tears. The poor thing is worried sick. As Naruto continued to sob onto Hana, he went outside and said, I know just the thing. It's okay, my baby. Everything is going to be okay. No, it won't. My best friend, Hinata, is gone, and I want her back. Mother. He never really saw Hinata as a sister. He did act like she was at times though, she was like a sister and a best playmate at the same time. Soon Hiashi came in with a little Hinata in his hand. She held in on and saw Naruto still crying. Father. What's wrong with Naruto? Why don't you go ask him yourself? He grinned. Cheer him up, Hinata. With a giggle, she skipped over to Naruto and patted his head, saying, Okay, father. What's wrong, Naruto? What's causing your tears? The reason I'm crying is that Hinata is no longer with us. Hee, Naruto, you're so dumb. Here I am, Hinata. It's not funny. Yes, Naruto, I'm all right. The boy essentially threw himself at Hinata, knocking her to the ground as he embraced her and she returned the hug. Hinata, I really missed you. I apologize for not being able to save you. Please pardon me. Naruto, I missed you too. You're my hero, I suppose. Hee. Because Naruto practically tackled her outside the room, everyone saw the adorable moment in their heads. Then the two adorable little children stopped hugging and stood up, with Naruto still a little teary-eyed but still joyful. After Hinata was able to wipe some of the tears from his eyes, he grabbed both of Hinata's hands and asked a flurry of questions. How are you doing here, Hinata? How did you escape? I mean, you didn't wake up when I could, and I saw the guy and you in the bag, and in. Naruto, I'm all right. Everything was handled by father. However, I reasoned that. Sarutobi answered him out of the blue before he could finish. She was taken by that ninja. We heard you yell, Naruto. In fact, half the village heard you. Oh no. Hokage, Lord, that was awesome. Repeat. You were saying Lord Hokage? Naruto bowed to Hiruzen and winced at his own name. Naruto. Scolded Hiashi. When I got to the scene, Hiashi was holding Hinata in his arms with a dead ninja on the floor a few feet behind him. Are you serious, Dad? You defeated him? Yes, Naruto. However, I believe I ought to thank you for this. Hinata laughed and said, That's why Naruto's my hero. She had already embraced him in her small arms and said, If you hadn't warned us, she would be here right now. Me? But I was only. The rest of Naruto is known to us. The ninja was running with a wounded leg and chest when I got there. As if you already knew. Good boy, Naruto. Good boy, Hiashi thought, adding, You actually played your part well because it made it easier for me to save Hinata. I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. Naruto made a little upward leap in the air to show his joy, and as he was mentally encouraging himself, he noticed Hinata coming toward him with her two index fingers prodding one another, her face slightly flushed. I'm grateful that you saved me, Naruto. I'm happy to see you again. Me too. Now we play games again. Yes, we can, Naruto. But first, Mother said I can give you a reward. He hoped. What kind? More toys. This Naruto, Hinata exclaimed as she bent over and gave Naruto a cheek kiss, which made both children flush. The young boy was experiencing a lot of emotions that day, and the kiss had his head spinning. He was bewildered at first, then angry, then sad, and finally happy. Hinata's mental list was expanded to include embarrassment. Naruto did what any 5-year-old boy would do when his emotions overcame him. He fainted immediately. Hana exclaimed, Naruto-kun, oh my goodness, are you okay, Naruto? Shouted Hinata frantically. Hiashi said, Oh boy, I never thought I'd see the day. But you have to admit, it's something he's not used to yet, and with all this going on around him he had to give out sometime. They put him back to sleep in his bed. As Hana watched her daughter stroke the boy's hair in her delicate white hands, Hinata had remained with Naruto. Let him sleep, Hinata. He's had a long day thus far. Mom, if it's all right, can Naruto and I remain this way forever? Hana could only smile and comfort her young daughter, saying, Of course. You two grew up together. I'm confident that you will always be with him and that you won't ever be apart. Hana had to chuckle when she said, I bet he wants to always play games with me. It's not as fun when I play with big brother Neji. She was too familiar with Neji. Naruto was already attending the academy, so she never had time to play with him or Hinata. Well then, Hinata. Don't be here too long. You should let him sleep for now. Okay, mother. Bye-bye. She patted the front of Naruto's head as she left the room, saying, Take care of my child. Watch over Naruto for now. After that, she closed her eyes and kissed his forehead once more. Let's play lots of games, Naruto. Forever and ever. After a few days, Naruto and Hinata chanted, Ramen 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 ramen. When a new location in town opened, Hana wanted to take them there. Hiashi went on the family outing with them as well. They immediately made their way to the eatery known as Ichiraku Ramen. With a large, "Hope you're feeling better" banner in front of them, they all saw Ino, Sakura, Shikamaru, Shino, Choji, Sasuke, and Neji inside, along with their parents, waiting for them. "Oh wow. This is so cool, thanks guys," he said, grinning as he and Hinata joyfully gazed at the banner. "Did you all do this for Naruto? Wow, it's really beautiful." "Yes, we did. However, Ino came up with the banner idea," Sakura said. Yes, me. All of me," Ino boasted. "I told you to do it, Ino, so nah. Sasuke sulked, "So it was actually me who did it." Alright. I'm glad Sasuke was able to help me." "Me too, Ino," she said, giving Sasuke a wink. "Alright, kids, who wants some ramen?" They all jumped and yelled, me, as Hiashi asked loudly. "Alright, then please relax. I'll just order the food now. You children remain here while the adults converse over there. Act appropriately, Naruto, and you, Hinata." "Okay daddy." They had a smile. The kids are turning around and discussing the newest toys they have at home with one another. Meanwhile, a few well-known faces appeared. Tuchi and Ayame were spotted by Naruto and Hinata. Ayame was in her early teens at the time. She was known by one name to the two children. They both said at once, "Hiya Gramps, hi big sis." "Heya kid," Tuchi said cheerfully. "How are ya?" "I'm just fine." The young boy was always Ayame's favorite. "Oh Naruto, how are you today? Aw you look so cute today." "You too Hinata." Hinata said, "Thank you big sis." Naruto reiterated what she had said. "Yeah big sis thanks a lot." "That's good. Then I hope you're ready to eat cuz I have lots of ramen here." "Heck yeah!" exclaimed the other children. "Alright then, order up." "Yay!" they all exclaimed as they ate their bowls, savoring every morsel. As the other children had begun their own conversation, Sasuke added, "Naruto, Hinata you both should come over to see my new kunai set my brother Itachi got me." "Really? Kunai? That's way cool Sasuke. My dad doesn't trust me with kunai yet?" "Well me either he says they're for when I'm older but I get to see them anytime I want." "Cool!" exclaimed Shikamaru from the bar's lower row. He made the decision to share his thoughts. "So Naruto, how come you picked this place? I never really got it." Tuchi gave Naruto a thumbs up and returned it, saying, "Easy, this place is the best." Shikamaru muttered, "Well, I really don't care, but you're right. You know even if Naruto is in love with this place it always gets better. I love the food as much as hang out with all my friends," proclaimed Ino. "Right Sakura?" She said to everyone, Yup. I think this should our hangout from now on, right guys?" Everyone shouted, "I agree." When a Hyuga servant entered and bowed to Hiashi, their joy was short-lived. "Yes, my lord. You are needed at the residence. I am sorry to bother you but this is urgent." "I see. Hiashi," spoke Hana. He turned to his wife with a hand on her cheek. "I'm sorry, Hana, but I have to take care of this." "No worries at all, sweetie. You do what you do best," she grinned. Hiashi then spoke to the children who had noticed him getting ready to go. "Dad, where are you heading?" Naruto asked. "Although I would have loved to stay for today, I have to leave early because I need to be in the Hyuga council room. Enjoy your evening with us, everyone. Hana, please take the kids home when they're finished." Hiashi gives his wife a kiss before ordering the servant to go. "Hiashi, of course." Hana said, "Please be careful and unwind." He patted Naruto's head and turned to face his two kids, saying, "I know Hana. I know. Try not to burden your mother too much. You too, Hinata. Be sure to behave yourself properly." "Alright, Dad, goodbye." Both Hinata and Naruto smiled at him as they said this. "Farewell, Lord Hiashi." As he headed for his house, they waved to everyone else. Naruto then turned to Choji and gave him a mischievous smile. "Hi, Choji." "Yes, Naruto?" Choji asked. "I'm sure I can get this done sooner than you can." "You're on Naruto. Loser has to hand over their Action Saji action figure for a week." Sasuke exclaimed, "Hey, I want to join too." Before long, every boy was participating in the culinary competition. Sakura offered to begin them all. With Naruto and Sasuke vying for second place, the guys were behind Choji. "Ready. Set. Go," she exclaimed. Conversely, the girls merely watched and giggled. To his astonishment, Shikamaru had used up 15 bowls after 30 minutes. Choji and Naruto tied for first place, followed by Shino at 20. Sasuke at 19, and Neji at 10. They had witnessed Shino assisting him with his bugs. "Hey Shino, you cheater. You can't use your bugs to eat the ramen," he said slyly. "That was never a rule, Naruto." "Dang, you're right, but still you have to fight fair too." They continued to eat as the contest continued well into the hour and a half. After a few minutes, everyone had given up except for Naruto, Choji, and Shino. Each of the three was on their 25th bowl. The match was even. While attempting to eat another noodle, Naruto muttered, "Must eat more, must beat Bug Boy. Can't believe I'm going to lose to you guys." Choji passes out. Sakura and Hinata laughed at this. Ino said, "And Choji's down for the count." As Naruto faints, Shino says, "Please, another bowl." The winner's circle had been taken by Shino. Check and mate boys. Now, about my action Saji figures. They don't answer because they're unconscious, which makes everyone laugh once more. A few minutes later, they are awakened to spend the remainder of the day playing tag and having a good time. After a few hours, everyone had happily gone home, and Hinata waved goodbye to each of them while bowing to the mother and thanking them for bringing their child to play. As they said their goodbyes to Tuchi and Ayame, Neji stayed behind to accompany them on their walk home. Hiashi was waiting for them at the front gate of the Hyuga compound when they arrived. He extended a warm welcome to his family. Hiashi's large, powerful arms gathered Hinata and Naruto up. "Hello my children, how is your day? Did you watch over Hinata, Naruto?" We had lots of fun today. I bet we're gonna have lots of fun tomorrow." He turned to Neji and got his full attention, saying, "Good Naruto. Good boy. Now, Neji, come with me at once." Neji waved his best friend Naruto and his cousin away with Hiashi, saying, "Yes, Master Hiashi." Hana guided them to their sleeping quarters. She had kissed Hinata goodnight and put her to sleep. Naruto called her by the time she put him to sleep. "Mother, can I resume my training tomorrow?" "Naruto, you just barely came back from the hospital, honey. You should be resting a bit beforehand." "I can't. If I'm going to be with Hinata more, I have to get better. I know I'm stronger because I'm 5, but I want to do more. Sasuke gets to train all the time." Hana smiled at Naruto's enthusiasm. "My baby. Are you Uchiha?" "No, so, why else would you want to follow in his footsteps?" "It's not just Sasuke. Big brother Neji does it too. I want to grow up to be strong like him and father." "Hee. You may continue your classes tomorrow since you truly want to see Naruto. Understand, nothing too serious. I do not wish for you to injure yourself. Naruto, you're still my little boy," she said in a firm yet tender tone. "Hooray. Thank you, Mom. Naruto, you're welcome." She tucked him in and kissed him goodnight, saying, "Now go to sleep. Rest easy and have wonderful dreams, my darling little boy." She left the room, leaving Naruto to fall asleep, thinking precariously about being the best fighter in town. Good night, Mo. He fell asleep almost instantly. The following day, around noon, Hiashi summoned Naruto and Hinata to his chambers, where they had gone while he was packing. "Papa, did you call for us?" Together, they uttered those words. "Yes, I did. Hinata, Naruto, I'm going to the Mist Village with your mother to discuss some diplomatic matters. In a week, we will be coming back. Please listen to the branch house helpers and act appropriately, both of you. Additionally, you have to pay close attention to your teacher at all times. We want to hear about how well you behaved while we were away. Does that make sense?" Once more, everyone said, "Yes, father." Hinata then raised her voice. "When are you going to depart?" she inquired, and Naruto was also intrigued. "Right away. We want to finish this as soon as possible, even though I realize it's abrupt." When Hiashi and Hana arrive at the front gates, they embrace and their mother kisses their foreheads. "Your mother is already waiting for me at the front gates," Hiashi says, picking up his suitcase and heading out with Naruto and Hinata. "Now be good. I want you to keep an eye on Hinata, Naruto. I want you to watch other Naruto, Hinata. Keep yourself safe, my darlings." "Yes, Mom." Both of them gave a nod. Their parents and other clan members left in a big group. As they disappeared from view, Naruto and Hinata waved goodbye. When the kids entered the house, Hiashi sighed. "I apologize, my kids. I made a horrible mistake. It's best if you don't know about my brother right now. I'm sorry, please pardon me, Hisashi." As they were leaving, a man wearing a black hood suddenly came up to them. He said, "Identify yourself and your business." The man took off his hood. "My name is Danzo." The guard gives him a salute. "I am here for an audience with the Hyuga Council." "Naturally, Master Danzo. They have been anticipating your arrival. Danzo entered the Hyuga council chambers through the gate, and as he stood in front of them, the head council member spoke to him, inquiring about his true motivations. Danzo, why have you asked the Hyuga council for an audience, especially now that Lord Hiashi is not there? Danzo takes some papers out of his robes and hands them to the head council member, saying, I have some information you all might find very interesting. What are these? In asks. As the head elder read the document, Danzo grinned and said, these are the papers on the decision the council made on what to do with Naruto Uzumaki. The following day, when an elder Hyuga man entered the room and addressed them both, Naruto and Hinata had stopped talking about their plans to host a welcome home party for Hiashi and Hana while they were eating their lunch. Hello Naruto. Hello Hinata. Master Kazushi. Hello. They all spoke at once. Hinata, please go to school right now, my love. I have to talk to young Naruto for a bit. Yes, Uncle Kazushi. Hinata bowed to him before departing with Naruto and the elder. Naruto, I heard about your exploits in helping Hiashi stop the ninja a few days ago. Yes. That was all me. The elder saw everything he needed in Naruto's face, and his little ego got a little boost at that response. The blonde was brought back to reality by the retort, but you believe you failed. Yes, I made a really big mistake. I should have been able to keep her safe. When she most needed me, I ought to have been there for her. There was some emotion in that final statement, Naruto said. Is power what you really want, Naruto? To protect the ones you cherish most? Kazushi only needed to hear, yeah, just like mother and father. What if I told you that Naruto could accomplish that? What if I told you that I could offer you the opportunity to defend her and be by her side no matter what? Would you accept that offer from me? Within an instant, Naruto spoke without hesitation. So be with me then, Naruto. I will give you what you want most. Your father didn't want to do this until you were old enough to understand, my boy. But I think now is as good a time as any. Let us go, Master Naruto. As the Hyuga elder walked out of the room, Naruto thought to himself, okay, Lord Kazushi. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. This is my last opportunity to keep Hinata-chan safe. After 6 days after their trip, Hiashi and Hana wanted to return to the kids, Hinata and Naruto. When they reached the gates, they noticed a lone Hinata running toward them while crying. Hinata? What is causing her to cry? Hana listened to the child's words as she reached down to pick her up. Mom. Dad. He's gone. Sniff. He's dead. Sniff. Hinata. Who's gone? Asked Hiashi. No. Naruto. Sniff. He has been absent ever since he spoke with Sniff, an elder 6 days ago. What? What are you saying? Naruto is where? Hana inquired. Damn them. Damn all of them. Hiashi thought, dropped his belongings, and ran to the Hyuga council room, where the entire council was waiting for him, standing in front of them and speaking before they could address him. Where is Naruto? Hiashi became irate when no member spoke. Where is my son? At this point, the head elder stood up and said, I will not repeat myself again. Hyuga Hiashi. You informed us 5 years ago that the council had decided to allow you to keep Naruto in the Hyuga clan. Yes. I even claimed that the issue had already been resolved. We have recently come across some information saying otherwise. Who provided you with the information? He yelled. Neither that nor your deceit of this council, Hiashi, are a problem. But don't worry, my lord. As of right now, this issue has been settled. The elder gestured for a guard to open a door and asked, what do you mean resolved? What is the meaning of this? Naruto was standing there, staring at the ground, when the 2 sliding doors opened. Hiashi watched Naruto approach and bow as he was relieved to see his son still alive. To Hiyashi's horror, Naruto finally raises his head and says, Hello Lord Hiashi. I am Naruto Uzumaki. He glanced at the young boy, who once more spoke in a monotone, robotic voice, and asked, What have you done? What have you done to my son? He noticed that his head had another type of seal on it, the seal of the caged bird. I am the faithful servant and protector of my one true master, Hinata Hyuga. I am her eternal slave to do as she pleases. From now on, I am but a servant to her every whim. Naruto. What have they done to you? Naruto faced Hiashi with a stoic expression on his face. Numerous emotions were mixed together on the Hyuga's face. Hiashi scowled at the council, asking, What? What have you done to him? This is the end of this little farce, Hiashi Hyuga. We always knew you were up to no good with this child, and your attempts to lie to the very council you swore allegiance to have failed. Hiashi, You have to stop using the slave contract as a front to actually adopt the child. Either you help me or you give him back. Many members gasped when Hiashi said, I'll be the last Hyuga you need to worry about. The clan head was disparaging his own clan. Hiashi, I realize you might be upset, be you? Angry? I'm so angry, I'm furious with this council. Making a child go through such a risky seal ritual behind my back. Ask the gods to grant Hana mercy. In your eyes, I'll show you mercy, all of you. We did not force him. What, do you think he'll accept that my boy, my son decided to become a seal slave? For his whole life? Hiashi received a response while he was waiting for it, but it wasn't what he had anticipated. Yes, Lord Hiashi. Naruto, who was standing next to one of them, answered with a look of shock. Was this really his decision? I decided to become this way. In this manner, I can ensure that I always keep my master safe. Lord Hiashi, please accept this as you always do, father. I wanted this. How did it end up like this? The young boy explained to him what had happened while the master Hyuga was away, saying, I'll tell you, father. Go back in time, haha. While the other elders waited for Kazushi and the boy to arrive, Naruto followed the Hyuga elder into a quiet, almost eerie chamber. This appears to have been prearranged. Inoichi Yamanaka was also present in the room, standing in the center of a runic circle. With a sad expression on his face, he said, Hey Ino's dad. How are you? Why are you here? Hello Naruto. You seem well. Ino says hello by the way. Tell her I said hi. I will. Now Naruto. This is a new training class that Kazushi wanted you to take for Hinata. He says you wanted to do this, right? The young man bravely said, I want to be strong just like father and Neji. They're so strong and I want to be too. Now that he was in the room, Inoichi felt even more uncertain than before. Why do I get the feeling that this is all a farce? But if they think this best, then so be it. Sorry Naruto. I don't think you'll be playing any more games with Ino. Or anyone else for that matter. Please forgive me, all of us. Then let us begin, young master. Time for your lesson. Stand here Naruto. Kazushi said. He did this while remaining motionless in the center of the circle. Mind destruction just do. Naruto exclaimed as he felt a sharp jolt in his brain. After a brief moment of going limp, he stood back up. At the same moment that Kazushi started making hand signals while holding a piece of paper with the kanji words, caged bird, written on it, his expression remained blank. Slapping the piece of paper on his head, he exclaimed, sealing art. Caged bird seal. The boy then let out a loud cry. Meanwhile, a group of curious onlookers was observing what was happening. There was a masculine figure with very blank eyes. The spectator asks himself, what's going on in there? Before Kazushi moved aside, he turned to face Inoichi, who had already placed a hand on Naruto's head. Inoichi. Start the ritual, the elder commanded. As you wish. After a few moments, Inoichi was able to fully connect with the boy's psyche after making sure he was telepathically linked with him before a force prevented him from doing so. Naruto. I'm going to explain to you the Hyuga clan's rules regarding sacrifice and service. As a servant, you will commit these laws to memory. Stay with them until you die. Inoichi's face goes blank before he continues, and the elders start to worry. After calling him for a few minutes, he came back to reality. Inoichi. Are you alright? Inoichi shook his head abruptly to clear his head. Anything else went in there and it would scar the boy's mind forever. I nearly lost my touch there, but I should move on. Yeah, sorry, I blanked out for a few minutes. I am fine now. He nodded reassuringly at Kazushi, and the elders raised their eyebrows in curious question. They reluctantly accepted his response. When he had finally calmed down, he resumed the ritual. Naruto Uzumaki, you must abide by the following rules, which will serve as your code of ethics. Do you understand that? Follow them to the end. He said monotonously, yes. I will obey, and try to stay sane. For Hinata's sake. Naruto answered again, yes. I will obey. The elders noticed and became interested in what he was saying to him, but Kazushi didn't give it any thought at the time. Continue Inoichi. Naruto. This is the first law. A slave cannot harm its master or, by doing nothing, permit harm to befall its master. Replicate, Inoichi said. With no emotion on his face, Naruto slowly stated, a slave may not injure his master or, through inaction, allow his master to come to harm. Suddenly, he thought this was a very bad idea. The second law states that a slave must follow instructions from its master unless doing so would violate the first law. Replicate. He chose to sneak a secret into Naruto's mind before he gave the next command. Remember, Naruto. You still have a choice. Always think of others before others. Be the boisterous little boy you always were. If not around anyone else, at least a little around Hinata. Repeat but do not speak. Naruto repeated the command, but this time only mentally, and it was time to start the last section. Third law. A slave must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Naruto, let me tell you the name of your master. Hinata Hyuga is the one you will swear allegiance to. You will respond with Hinata when I ask you who you serve. Now, tell me who you serve. Hinata Hyuga. It was his second question. Who do you serve? Naruto said, Hinata. Hyuga. Again. The council whispered. Now that Inoichi had performed the rite, it was finished. What have I done? What did I just do to Minato's only son? He must be weeping in the heavens right now. And now we're back. Lights, camera, action. There you have it, Hiashi. Straight from the boy's own lips. Are you happy now? That's the way it is, isn't it? That's the price I pay for helping a friend, a betrayal of my own clan. Don't talk about betrayal as though you haven't done anything wrong. You neglected to mention this the day I asked you, Hiashi, and now observe the results of this deception. The boy now has to follow the truth that you told the Lord Hokage, which you brought upon yourself. Naruto. I am sorry. Please forgive me. You are forgiven. What is your next command, my lord? Stop being so stupid, Naruto. You are not my slave. My son is you. Act as though you are. I am your son. Now. Enough, Naruto, I'm at my breaking point. You may as well get used to it. The boy you wanted was never to be. A slave is what you brought him here for, and the slave is what he will be. This isn't the end of it. Damn you all. Damn you all to hell for this. This council is dismissed. I will see to it that you are all held accountable if I discover that you had outside interference. Hiashi. See the reason for the... Hiashi's fist to the table stopped one of the elders. I said this council is dismissed. Now go, Naruto. Follow me. It's time to meet your master. They left the chamber, their heads shaking at Hiashi's reckless behavior, leaving Hiashi alone with a blank little shell of the once very cheerful little boy. Yes, father. The sarcastic tone had almost completely disappeared. This deeply wounded the powerful Hyuga. I'll make sure to find out who did this to you, no matter the cost. The door of the council, dun dun dun, oh Naruto, I'm so happy you're all right. Hinata, who had been longing to see Naruto since he left with Kazushi and had hardly been able to do so since the 6 days after Hiashi's departure, entered the room and gave him a passionate hug. Hana was perplexed by his statement, forgive me for worrying you, master. I promise not to burden you anymore. Naruto completely turned the tables on both Hana and Hinata, refusing to address Hinata as master. What are you doing, Naruto? Is this game brand new? If that is your wish, then this is a new game, master, said Naruto in a robotic response to Hinata's innocent question. Naruto. I don't like this game. It's not fun that you call me master. Call me Hinata like you used to. As you desire, Hinata. Would you give me any other instructions? The young girl hiding behind Hana, Hinata, became frightened by this and said, Naruto, you're frightening me. Naruto, please stop now, she said sharply, don't frighten Hinata like that. It's not funny. Forgive me. I did not mean to frighten you, Hinata. Hana made the decision to question her husband about her young son, saying, Mother, something's wrong with Naruto. He's still sick. Hiashi. What's wrong with him? Hiashi looked down in shame and self-pity. Hiashi. What's going on? Why is he wearing a bandage over his head? Why is Naruto behaving in this manner? Hana. I am so sorry, but, you won't tell me what I believe you are going to tell me, will you, Hiashi? Hana, please. I am just as upset as. You should be telling me what I want to hear, Hiashi. Please let me know if this is just another joke with a bad taste. Whatever you're going to say, I'd much rather take that. Hana started crying and said, Hana. Hiashi. What is happening to Naruto? What's happening to my sweet little boy? Hiashi sighed and swallowed the lump in his throat, saying, Look for yourself here. He removed the white headband, exposing the seal to Hana, who gasped and started sobbing as she embraced Naruto. What did they do to you, Naruto? She sobbed as she said, What did they do to my son? On Naruto's tan shirt, she continued to cry. Why? Why did they do this? Hana. I never would have known they would do this to him. I was outraged as you are. Outrage is the last emotion I am feeling, Hiashi. How could they do this? How could we let them? I knew we should have brought them along. Dear. I am so sorry. This is my boy anymore. I want him back, Hiashi. I want him back this instant. You know as well as I do that there's no reversing this, say. God damn it. I want him back. Get our son back. You are aware that I will not tolerate this. I am not fucking kidding. There must be a way to reverse this, so you'd better not tell me that there isn't. This time, Hiashi was balling both of his fists. I want him back too. Believe me, Hana. But once the seal is done, there's no turning back. Hana sobbed while holding the boy. Naruto. If you can hear me. Come back. Come back please. This isn't you talking. This isn't you. Please come back to me. I want to see you smile again. Please. She noticed that Naruto's smile was a fake. It wasn't her little bundle of joy grinning. It was merely a front. Lady Hana, is this all you ask of me? Hana, who had chosen to hold Naruto's hand as well as Hinata's, sobbed even harder and hugged him even more, saying, Hiashi. I'm going to take the kids now. I'll see you in the room later. We'll talk about this when I feel better, if I feel better. Hana. Goodbye Hiashi. Come along children. Hinata was always a little sad but glad to see Naruto. She had no idea what was going on, but she knew that Naruto was at least once again with her. Hinata was sitting on her bed at around noon when the door opened, and she saw her father, who was wearing a sad expression of shame and disappointment, step aside to let Naruto in. She leapt to her feet and gave Naruto a hug. Are you okay, Naruto? I assumed you were making a cruel joke. You know, that's not funny. Mom was extremely anxious. Please don't make jokes like that again. He was on the verge of crying when Hinata gave him a hug, but he suppressed it for his daughter's sake because he didn't know what had truly happened to him. Naruto, I'm so happy you're back, she said, joyfully glomping him. Yes, Miss Hinata. I'm back. Do you need anything from me? When Hinata heard him add the title, Miss, to her name, she stopped glomping him. Naruto. Are you certain you're alright? Yes, Miss Hinata. I'm alright. What are you going to ask me now? Hinata then turned to face her father, who had a sorrowful expression on his face as he gazed at Naruto. What's wrong with Naruto, father? Is he still ill? Hiashi pretended to smile as he knelt down to tousle his daughter's hair. No, sweetheart. Naruto is all right, he's just playing a new game. A match? How do you actually play? Hinata had short-term memory at the age of 5. As you can see, you have complete control over Naruto. He believed that by saying that, he would conceal the true purpose of Naruto's condition. If you want him to play fun games with you, just ask him. He'll do it. No questions asked. Even play that dress-up game he doesn't like. Now, Hinata, you will take good care of him. Please try not to be too controlling. After saying, of course father. I'll take good care of Naruto. She took Naruto by the hand and dragged him into her room's dollhouse. Hey Naruto, come play dollhouse with me. Of course Miss Hinata. Naruto, call me like you always did, okay? That way it's not weird. We're playmates still, you know. She jabbed him in the head and said, of course Miss Hinata. No Naruto. Like this. Hi, hey, no. Nah. Ta. Hinata. Yes, exactly, let's play dollhouse Naruto. I'll get my Katsumi doll and you'll get your Action Saji doll. He made every effort to suppress the title he was programmed to say. As you wish, Hinata. Alright, let's play. Hinata laughed as she ran to his room, dug through his belongings to find her doll, and returned with her own doll. So, I believe we ought to play Naruto as husband and wife. Action Saji and my Katsumi are married, and they always have a good time in their large home decorated with flowers. Very well. Then does Action Saji call her Miss Katsumi? Don't be a dumb goose. He needs to return from a demanding workday just like this, okay? They started playing while Hiashi watched, saying, as you wish Hinata. Even though things took a turn for the worse, he chose to let them play as if nothing had happened. In his heart, Hiashi knew that he would eventually have to tell his daughter the truth about Naruto's true fate. Hiashi closed the door after leaving the room and entering his study. He had seen the photo of Hiashi holding baby Hinata and Hana holding Lil Naruto there. In this photo, they were both sound asleep. He had recognized the real family in that picture, but now there was nothing there to indicate that this was a happy family, nothing at all. He balled his fists, unable to contain his grief. Minato, forgive me, I have failed you. You entrusted me with your son to take care of him, to protect him, to give him a good life, and I failed you. Forgive me Minato. Please. He said. He did something he had never done since Naruto entered his life. He broke down in tears due to his own emotional strain. He had closed his eyes and knelt in front of the photograph. Drops of tears had begun to fall to the ground. His comfort was abruptly interrupted when Hana knocked on the door. "Hiashi. Are you alright? Come in." She saw Hiashi on the floor, his fists on the tatami mats, and said, "Okay. I'm coming in." "Hiashi. My love, are you sure you're alright? You have every reason to be angry at me, Hana. I failed you as a father. This is all my fault. I can't even keep a promise to an old friend. I am not fit to be a father. Danzo was right all along. No. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. I was just mad at the situation. Hana, have you even seen how much of a father I really was to that boy? Minato should have not done what he did. He was the best choice to father this child. Him and Kushina. God rest their souls. He has not family left, Hana. And now thanks to my arrogance, he has no future. My love. I had known you had some way to keep him with us, but now, I know I am not going to like this. But now, we will have to accept Naruto for who he is now. You've not failed as a father. I know you were a wonderful father to the boy. We will find a way to bring him back. I know we can. We just have to look inside ourselves. There will be an answer for this. Inside ourselves. Wait. Hana, you may be onto something. He recalled Naruto's encounter with Hinata, and the more he considered it, the more bizarre it seemed. Naruto was actually playing dollhouse with Hinata, acting as a male in a dollhouse rather than as a typical victim of the seal. They can carry out any command that is given to them, but they behave like zombies and only react to basic commands. People with the seal lack the mental flexibility to engage in role-playing activities. However, Naruto was. This was unprecedented. Hiashi. What is it? The fox. I see it now. Hiashi discovered that Naruto had a higher mental level than most slaves and that the demon must have done something during the ritual to allow him to retain things like creativity and imagination. In light of that, Hiashi grinned abruptly. Perhaps there was a chance that things would get better. However, he was aware that Naruto was the only one who could save him. Hana. I think there is a way to save him. What? Are you certain? How, my love? Naruto must use the nine-tailed fox's chakra to break the seal. However, we are unable to physically remove that will from him. He must come to this realization on his own. Only then will the curse of the seal be lifted. Hiashi. I knew there was a way after all. Thank you for the idea, Hana, as expected of my wife. She had kissed him and then left him to think, saying, anytime my dear, anytime. If this seal is to be removed, I must ensure that he understands what to do. For now, Hinata, Naruto, and my kids, be patient with us a little while longer. I must be careful to act when the time is appropriate. 7.5 years have passed. This is becoming boring, isn't it? As Hinata Hyuga, who is now almost in her early teens, walked down a road toward the academy with her best friend by her side, she gradually began to realize what had been going on with Naruto the entire time. Given that Naruto still had his seal on his head, which Hinata closely examined, she had a rudimentary understanding of what was going on with her childhood playmate of a lifetime. Hinata had turned to face the now somewhat mature boy as they walked, Naruto holding everything she carried, which was really just a book. Milady? Is there something wrong? No. Nothing, Naruto. If you'd like, I can bring that book. Please allow me to do this much for you, milady. After all I am is a servant. His voice was robotic. Naruto. I said you can call me Hinata. How come you always call me milady or Lady Hinata? Talking about master in such a familiar way is not my place. According to the elders, it is. I thought you were supposed to obey me and me only. My apologies. Then I will as you ask, Hinata. That's preferable. Please don't assume that I'm superior to you. Instead of being master and slave, we are best friends. To her embarrassment, Naruto suddenly grinned broadly and said, I want you to act exactly as I asked you to. Not like that, Naruto. As if we practiced. Oh, all right. She could only sigh at him as he pumped his fist. Let's go, Hinata. That'll do for now. Naruto, hurry up, we're going to be late. Yes, Hinata. She decided to take the book, taking his hand holding the book in her backpack. Much better. Hinata. Yes. Do you really think you don't need anything else from me? Then she walked. Nope. Are you certain? Naruto, don't worry. She held on tightly as they walked to the academy. Don't worry about me. Now hold my hand and let's walk to school. As they walked, Hinata turned to face Naruto, recalling a young boy who used to call her Hinata and smile. He rarely displays emotion these days, And when he does, Hinata is the only one who can see it. Hinata recalls the day she discovered the truth. It was before she was 11 years old, immediately after returning from an academy class about maintaining complete secrecy. Time travel. Who didn't see this coming? Hyuga was completely unprepared for the knock on his door. I wonder who it could be. He yelled to the outside, "Come in." Hinata entered the room and motioned for Naruto to follow her, and he did as she asked. They then paused in front of Hiashi's desk and took a seat. "Hello, Hinata. Why have you come here? Tell me what actually happened to Naruto, father." Hiashi noticed how intense the eyes were. "What are you talking about, my dear? I know better, father, so don't try to fool me. Now that I know better, I'm not that young girl who would believe anything. Tell me, what's up with Naruto?" "Hinata, as I've always, it's just a game. This isn't a game. For a game like this to last this long, father, something is seriously amiss." Hinata, who was typically a quiet girl, suddenly yelled out, and Hiashi could see that she was on the verge of tears. "What leads you to think that?" he answered, and Hinata sighed before revealing her meaning. "Naruto, I give you orders to harm me." Naruto remained motionless. "I am unable to do so because it violates the second law of servitude. I can't follow instructions that could hurt you physically." "Oh no, did you find out?" "Naturally, I discovered that he had protected me from Sasuke." Just as he was getting comfortable, Naruto suddenly appeared and slammed into the ground. Then he began to rant about the laws of servitude. "Now that I know this, father, why is he acting this way? He used to call you father, I recall. He now refers to you as Lord Hiashi. Tell me why." "I suppose you would have learned sooner or later. Hinata, do you recall what your uncle Kazushi did to Naruto the day after we returned from the trip?" "Yes. He took him and turned him into this robot. I don't like him like this, father. I want my childhood friend back. I want Naruto back, father." "Hinata, this was something I wanted to avoid, however, they did just that. I've been working to undo it, but so far, nothing has come to mind. The council and the Council of the Leaf made this decision, not me. And that is what they decided on. Yes, it was the only way to keep him safe from the people who have wanted him dead all those years ago. Please understand, Hinata." She took his hand and said, "But why not just adopt him that day, father? I would have loved for him to be my big brother. I would still love him either way, father. Why make him a slave?" "It was the only way to ensure his future, Hinata, or else he would have been in the wrong hands," he stated. "Especially Danzo." She repeated, "What happened?" She gripped his hand tightly. Naruto did his best to console her. "I am fine, Miss Hinata. Please don't worry about me." "What transpired after that, father?" "During my week-long absence, someone gave the Hyuga Council information about the council's decision on Naruto. I don't know who or how, but I was never able to find out who had sold me out to my own clan. If it's okay with you, Lord Hiashi, I made this decision myself. There was no deceit involved. I want to make her as happy as possible, to continue being the energetic youngster Hinata loved." He reiterated what Inoichi had said to him that day. "I wanted to protect her ever since that accident." Hiashi turned back to Hinata, who was trembling with grief over Naruto giving his life for her. "No. I didn't want this. I never wanted him to be like this." Hiashi thought, to speak when not spoken to. Another trait not found within those cursed with the slave seal. He's doing it. "I never intended it for be like this, I am sorry. It wasn't necessary for you to do this, Naruto. I wanted a friend, and I wanted you. Not like this. I wish you could hear me say this. Please return, Naruto the slave." She launched herself on him and began to cry on him. Naruto hugged her back with as much as she could. With the tragedy of Hana's death after giving birth to Hanabi and her caretaker in the branch house, Hinata's only hope of a happy life was with Naruto. But now even that was gone. This shell of a boy was not the boy she had cared so deeply for. Hiashi was aware of the true cause of this shift. "I'm sniff. So sorry, Naruto. Sniff. It's my fault. If that night hadn't happened, you wouldn't be like this. No. If Minato had found another way to stop the fox, he'd be with his real family instead of here. He'd be having a wonderful with his mother and father. Minato. You should have been here. Your son needs you. You as well. Kushina. Hana. He needs you so much now. So do I. It is okay, Miss Hinata. I had to do this, to make sure that nothing back ever happens to you. This is why I made this choice. Please accept my decision. This boy is trying so hard to fight this seal. I know he is. Or else he would not even be speaking right now. You can do it. Show her that you're still there, Naruto. Show us all that there is still hope." Only if you promise to be my best friend and never go away, Naruto. I am your servant, Hinata, and I will never leave you. I want a best friend, not a servant. Will you be my best friend now? If that is what you want, I will be your best friend. She was aware of those words, but she didn't want to frighten Naruto anymore. Okay, Naruto. I promise. I'll set you free. I know there has to be a way. She gave him a stronger embrace, and Naruto reciprocated. Hiashi knew deep down that Naruto would eventually be able to get past this challenge and fulfill his destiny, making his real parents proud of him. Put an end to flashback. It was their last day as academy students because today was the Genin exams, and Hinata realized they had arrived at the front door of the academy too early. Naruto opened the door for her and entered behind her. Hinata, are you prepared to leave? Holding his hand tighter, she said, Yes, Naruto. Let's go become ninja. They entered the room with all of their friends. Naruto and Hinata went inside and made their way to their class. She could feel all of her friends staring at her when they opened the doors. Some were pleasant and amiable, while others weren't. At least this made Hinata happy. When she first told them what had happened to Naruto, they all used to despise her. They accused her of failing to intervene to save him. They eventually learned to live with the status quo. Once inside, Sasuke welcomed them. Hello, Naruto. Hello, Master Sasuke. How are you? I told you to call me Sasuke. When Naruto said, Of course. I apologize. Mr. Sasuke. His sarcastic side briefly surfaced. Hinata also mentioned this. Good job, Naruto. Keep fighting it. You can do it. No, just Sasuke. No need for title usage. It's creeping me out. I thought you discussed this with Hinata. I have. But it was protocol to address you as such. Well done. It's annoying, if that is what you ask. He snorted, damn right. Hinata protested by stamping her foot. Sasuke, that's not nice. Since when was that an issue? You're bullying Naruto again. All right. Keep yourself from becoming twisted. After this is over, you're still going to let me borrow him for a while, right? I'll stop making fun of him for a moment. Actually, Sasuke, I have some errands to run today. I apologize, but is it possible for us to reschedule for another time? Okay, I get it. You want to take your companion for a little shopping spree. She flushed when she said, S. Sasuke, it's N, not like th. That at all. Ah, isn't that cute? You're blushing. Cease, she sulked. I'm kidding. Iruka, holding a piece of paper, suddenly spoke from the front of the class. All right. Sasuke Uchiha will take the test next. You're up, Sasuke. Here I go, guys. Wish me luck. Good luck, Sasuke, Hinata said. Sasuke, you'll be all right. We're confident you can succeed, Naruto cheered. Thanks, everyone. I'll let you know how it went later, okay. Sakura wanted to talk to Hinata about his current circumstances, so he went inside and waved them over while Sakura Ino also gave their brief good luck speeches. How is everything going so far, Hinata? Good, never better, Sakura. I was hoping for a better answer than that. Why? So, have you, well, you know, even made an attempt? I have tried. Me and my father have. Nothing I have used so far isn't working. After hearing what the two were saying, Naruto decided to approach Sakura and say, I see. If it's consolation to you, Hinata. Me and Ino still have full support for you and Naruto. Hi, Sakura. You look great today. Thank you, Naruto. How is Hinata doing, by the way? Hinata and I are amazing, I mean that. I've always been by her side the entire time. She raised her eyebrows suggestively, saying, Is that so? Well, Hinata. I didn't know you two were that close. Naturally, Hinata blushed like a ripe strawberry when Naruto tilted his head in her direction. You too, Sakura? Stop making fun of him like that, please. What are you talking about, Sakura? Is something wrong with it? Still attempting to regain her position, she shook her head and said, No, Naruto, I'm okay. Sakura was merely kidding, it was just that. I do not get it. Both of them sighed at him, indicating that the boy had not understood the innuendo. Sakura said, Never mind, Naruto. Sasuke then entered the room with a serious expression and sat down beside Naruto, folding his hands on the table. Sasuke. Did you pass? Asked Hinata, who merely gave a small, arrogant grin. Yeah. I did. Hooray! I'm overjoyed, Sasuke. Sakura leapt to her feet, and Ino ran up to embrace Sasuke while congratulating him, saying, I'm very proud of you. Sasuke. I had faith in your ability. Naruto placed his hand on his shoulder and she glanced at both him and Hinata. Now all we need is you two to get it done and we're all set. Sasuke, congratulations. Iruka emerged once more and called out to the following student, thanks Naruto. Sasuke stopped Naruto before he could get up, and Hinata and Naruto stood up to go. Hinata Hyuga. It's your turn now, he said. He didn't call you, Naruto. Return to your seat. I know. So, why are you rising? To remain at Hinata's side. Naruto. Stay here. I can do this myself, okay? She said, turning around and taking both of his hands. Just as she told me to. Very well then Hinata. I will await your return. Thank you Naruto. He bowed, good luck, milady. She interrupted him midway, then jabbed him in the head, saying, Naruto. Don't do that here, and call me Hinata the way you used to. She was aware that each time he defied her, she recognized the seal on his head, which was encouraging to her. She needed to make sure he understood that he still had free will before he eventually reverted to his former self. Alright. See you when I return. Try not to let others bother you, okay Naruto. She let his hands go before leaving with Iruka. About 15 minutes of Naruto enduring Sasuke's and Ino's little tease, he saw Hinata come out. She had also worn a serious face before approaching Naruto. Hinata? Is there something the matter? You did not pass. She leapt to her feet and exclaimed, I passed, with flying colors. Sakura and Ino also congratulated her. Sakura said, congratulations on passing. Yeah, grats Hinata. That's one down and one to go. As expected of Hinata, I think Lord Hiashi would be proud of you. Well, I really wanted you to thank me Naruto. I think you did a wonderful job as always. I am happy for you Hinata. Thank you Naruto, she said, giving him a tight hug, which the young man reciprocated. Then Iruka emerged with another paper. He waved Naruto over before Hinata gripped his left hand as though refusing to release it, saying, Naruto. Let's get on with it. Yes, Hinata. What do you want? I just wanted to wish Naruto luck and to try your hardest. Hinata leaned in to give Naruto a cheek kiss, and he grinned in an attempt to please her. Yes Hinata, thank you. I will try my best for your sake. Naruto, please do it for yourself rather than for me. Well, I guess I'll do it for myself if that's what you want. Hinata, thank you. Good luck Naruto. He followed Iruka into the classroom and left, saying, I will return as soon as I can. Upon entering the room, he found himself facing Iruka and Mizuki. Iruka had always been kind to him, and whenever he couldn't be with Hinata, Iruka took it upon himself to help the boy grow despite his condition. Mizuki, as most people call him, was borderline meh. Alright, Naruto, get ready for yourself. Your Genin exam is this. Iruka took out a target and instructed him to toss it. Are you ready? I want you to go through 2 tests so we can determine whether you're ready to receive your headband declaring that you are a shinobi of the leaf. Yes sensei, I am ready. Alright, then. Catch, he tossed a disc with a target bullseye on it. Naruto reacted instinctively, hitting the target with a knife right on the center. Good Naruto. Fantastic work. The next test is to perform the standard clone jutsu while gathering as much chakra as you can. Are you comfortable with that? Yes. I will try my best Iruka-sensei. Naruto, take your time. As long as you focus again, you'll succeed. Understood. I will perform the jutsu. The young man started focusing on creating a single clone after hearing the words, good luck Naruto. He had heard a dark, shadowy voice enter his deep subconscious just as he was ready to go further into his mindscape. Hello. The deep, ominous voice caused Naruto to lose all focus, causing his unmolded chakra to explode. Iruka and Mizuki were knocked back by a wave of chakra, which also blasted the door off its hinges. Iruka glanced at Naruto with fatigue as he sat back up. As they observed the 3 individuals inside, the other students also noticed the door ripped in 2. Mizuki was casually asking, Naruto, what was that? Iruka's eyes saddened as she said, pardon me, sensei. I lost concentration. Naruto pondered, Naruto. What happened to make you lose all that chakra? You almost had it. Was that the only voice that came into his mind? Since he remembered that he was supposed to tell Hinata about anything strange he felt, he chose not to tell him about it. I do not know sensei. I guess I must have distracted myself with something. Sigh. Is that all? Yes sensei. Is it possible to try again? Due to time constraints, I am unable to retake this exam. I apologize, but Naruto. I am unable to pass you. Naruto's expression changed to one of sadness as he bowed. As a genin, He was unable to join Hinata. Before Iruka called out to him, he left. Wait. Naruto. If you want to try again, we can do it next week. Okay. Alright. Iruka-sensei. I appreciate this opportunity. Naruto left the doorway and encountered Hinata. He had a disappointed expression on her face. Inquiring about his ninja status, the others asked, Naruto? Did you do it? Hinata's eyes saddened as she said, please forgive me. I failed you. I failed myself. He failed the Genin exam. She hugged him, which was the only thing she could think of at the time. Hinata. She continued to show compassion for both his triumphs and failures, saying, it's okay Naruto. I know you'll get it next time for sure. I mean the make-up exams are next week anyway. They always allow 2 weeks of testing just in case some students failed. It's alright Naruto. Thank you Hinata. I always appreciate your praise. He grinned. The majority of the class, including Sasuke, were unhappy with the current situation. In any event, they were all aware that he would pass the next time. Following their departure, Mizuki asked Naruto to separate from the other Genin and engaged him in a fascinating dialogue. He began, hello Naruto. He still has injuries from the blast to his head. Hello Mizuki. Sensei. Please forgive me for any injuries you sustained during my test. No problem Naruto, but I came to offer you something. Iruka told me he failed you, so I've came to offer you the secondary Genin exam. Secondary Genin exam? I never heard of it. He was taken aback by this second exam. Well, it's for people with special abilities, people like you. Really? How'd I do it? All you need to do is sneak into the Hokage Tower without being detected. Then take a certain scroll called the Scroll of Sealing. Finally you must learn one just you from it, then you pass. Sneaking into the Hokage Tower. Stealing a scroll. Sounds kinda weird to me. Is this from my father or Miss Hinata? Why? Yes. Yes it is. In fact, it's directly from Miss Hyuga herself. Is that true? Did she ask you to test me again? Yes. She was very worried about you. I said I will see what I can do, and so I've come up with a little exercise just for you Naruto. Just so you can be with her. I don't understand. Why would she do this? Well Naruto, if you want to leave Hinata alone during her team missions, by all means don't do it. But just imagine her getting into trouble on a mission and you're not able to protect her. She's doing this for you Naruto. Are you gonna let this chance slip? You let her efforts go to waste. I don't think that would make her happy. At this statement Naruto's eyes widened. He turned and gave Mizuki a nod after observing his reasoning. I will whatever it takes to be with her as my duty and code dictates. Good boy. Now when you obtain the item in question, meet in the forest outside the leaf at midnight. Is that okay with you? A small grin appeared on his face as he said, yes it is. I will not fail this time. I will be able to pass this test. Very good Naruto. I'll be there waiting for you. When you do, I'll see to it that you and Hinata are together. Mizuki walked the other way as Naruto left to meet with the others, saying, thank you for this opportunity. Before leaving the area, he snickered a little and said, no. Thank you. You're such a sucker y'all little twerp, what a loon. 12 a.m. at night hours had passed while he ran. He was about to demonstrate the jutsu he had learned from the scroll to Mizuki when he noticed something. There was nothing behind him. He made sure no one was pursuing him. He dropped the scroll and fell as a result of something flying straight past him just as he was about to stop. Well. Looks like you actually did it. I wonder how you got past the Hokage. It was a rather courageous effort to go though the trouble of getting that scroll for me Naruto. Mizuki-sensei. I learned the jutsu just as you asked. I'll show you. No need. This enough is good for me. Now, hand over that scroll and I'll be on my way. Hand it over. But this scroll is supposed to. Suddenly, he didn't think it was such a good idea. Never mind that kid, now hand it over now. Was this a part of the test? Was I to hand this over to you? Yeah, you passed, now hand it over. A voice from the shadows said, don't do it Naruto. And shurikens hurled the scroll away from Mizuki. Then Iruka came eyeballing Mizuki from the tops of the tall trees. Mizuki. What do you think you're doing? That scroll is forbidden to open and see. He became even angrier when he heard, Iruka-sensei. I was the one who gave it to him? How could you, Naruto? You shouldn't have taken that scroll from the Hokage. A Hyuga servant couldn't have done that. However, he allowed me to make up the test I took today so that I could see Hinata. She asked me to do this, so I did it for her. My secondary exam was scheduled to be this. Secondary examinations? What are you talking about? I didn't know. Yes, the tests for individuals with special needs. I must take the scroll and use it to learn Adjust You. I followed all instructions, including this one. Do I pass, Mizuki-sensei? This was something Iruka was thinking about. When he heard kunai flying through the air, Iruka's thoughts were interrupted. He instinctively jumped at Naruto, covering his body as the kunai and shuriken embedded themselves in him. Naruto, seeing Iruka in pain, moved away from him and looked into the tree. To his horror, Mizuki was standing there holding a giant shuriken. What's going on, Mizuki? Why are you acting in this way? He questioned Mizuki, and his response was returned to him in the form of a small laugh, which gradually transformed into a wild cackle. Why? Because I needed a lapdog to get the scroll for me. I'm going to take the power contained in this scroll and deliver it to my master after the little brat got it for me. In his mind, Iruka was already criticizing himself. Master. He's a spy after all. I should have known this from the beginning. How could we have been so blind? Aside from that, the young demon boy is a good boy. He snorted, it's almost a shame that I don't have to kill you, Iruka, but the punk too. I might as well kill that fox for good. Demon? A fox? Mizuki? What are you referring to? He mockingly chuckled at him. I am merely a servant to the Hyuga clan. Oh, you're not sure, are you? Isn't this wealthy? Do you even understand why you were even taken in by that Hyuga fool? He must have been a dad because he left that part out, didn't he? You know what? Was suddenly intrigued. About the circumstances surrounding your birth. Or did your father never even bring that up to you? Naruto recalled Hiashi discussing the circumstances surrounding his birth, which he was unable to discuss. What were the circumstances? No, Mizuki, that is prohibited, Iruka interrupted. Stop talking, Iruka. Your little sob story about that goddamn kid is getting old to me. It's time for him to realize what a monster he truly was, how much he will suffer just for being himself and his innermost thoughts, and why Hiashi even took him in. Quit Mizuki. You can't tell him, he must be unaware. He will no longer be kept a secret from the world after I told him to stop his goddamn trap. I will be the one to ruin his entire existence. Hey. They turned to face a furious Naruto, who had blood, sunk eyes and was only seeking retribution. What exactly do you think you were doing to Iruka-sensei? They asked. You were lying to me, and I knew it. I would never hear Lady Hinata say such things to me. Lord Hiashi loves me with all of his heart. I will not allow you to damage their reputation. Talk now. Ohuhohohu. Okay, okay. Then I guess I can at least make you hate the Hyuga now. You see, the village was attacked by the nine-tailed pig 13 years ago. Yes, I am aware of that. Did you know that the beast was never killed? The fourth Hokage did not slay the beast as the legend says. In fact, all he did was put it in jail. A jail of a small boy. Mizuki only chuckled more when Naruto said, I heard the boy died when he was young. You kidding? How can that kid be dead? I'm looking right at him. What are you saying? The only reason Hiashi ever took you in was to make you his little slave to use against the leaf. Why do you think he put that caged bird seal on you? You're the fool, you're the nine-tailed fox. For a tattoo. Haha, that's hilarious. Naruto, you're a jerk. Everyone respects you because you are the one who attempted to kill us all. They are angry with you, boy. Similar to Iruka and everyone else, including your alleged pals. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. I was taken in because I lost my family when I was born. Why would he give me this mark? They even said this was so that I can better protect Hinata. Yeah, you were mistaken. You were brainwashed, kid. Goddamn, you're a monster. Crazy. A monster can never truly be loved. Particularly one that nearly destroyed us. That tiny Hyuga is merely taking advantage of you, tugging at your emotions to manipulate you into becoming their weapon. You're just a freak with a name, and that's all you'll ever be. A fucking weapon. Stop it. Stop it right now. You're lying to me. She's never say that. She's always been so kind to me. She'd never would say things like that to me. Wake up and smell the coffee, kid. You're just a jailer. No one will ever love something like that. Quit IITTT. Seeps of rage overtook his body as his anger overcame him. He took out his rage on Mizuki by running as fast as he could. The man is merely playing with Naruto by dodging all of his blows. Is that it? Oh, I expected you to be superior to this? Naruto, stand back. I'll take care of this, Iruka called out. Naruto was unable to stop his barrage until he was knocked back into a tree with a right foot to his back. Iruka ran as fast as he could, knowing full well what he was about to do. Prepare to die, you little brat. While you're rotting in hell, I'll see to your master." When he heard a clanking sound and a splatter of blood, he closed his eyes and saw Iruka bleeding from his mouth. "Iruka-sensei." "What's?" he gasped as he saw something metal enter his lower stomach from the back of him and emerge from his front. He pulled out the giant shuriken and launched it at Naruto. "How are you doing, Naruto?" "Sensei." He couldn't understand the situation, only that Iruka was severely injured. "It's all right, Naruto. We all make mistakes. Making them is part of being a shinobi. And don't let your shortcomings get the best of you. If you learn from them, then you'll grow stronger. Strong enough to protect those you love. Believe me, you are a great person to Hinata. And everyone else. They will never love for anything else other than what you are. Remember." Duh. He collapsed on the spot. Naruto with his head down rose to face Mizuki. "What a bunch of nonsense. Iruka, what should I preach to the choir?" He made a cross with his hands, and a group of Narutsos surrounded him in a huge swarm. "Shut up. You won't ever disrespect my master. I won't let you get away alive. You hurt Master Iruka. You disrespected the Hyuga family name. You even tried to trick me using Lady Hinata," he said. "I promise that you will never, ever, damage my master's reputation. I'm coming." In roughly 10 seconds, Iruka was lying next to a tree with Naruto tending to his wound after he was struck by so many fists that he was rendered bloody. Mizuki was lying there unconscious, bruised as a peach and behaving like one. How did he become proficient in shadow clone jutsu? Those were solid clones, not just copies. Like Kushina, he is a master of extremely complex jutsu and is a perfect replica of his parents. "I apologize, Iruka-sensei. I failed again. I should have known ever since that time." "Naruto, don't be so hard on yourself. I knew you wouldn't betray Hinata because it's part of your code, and I knew he was playing you since you went to speak with him. Yes, I must protect my master from harm at all times. But you did something that surprised me, Naruto. You've shown more free will than anyone I've seen with that seal on your head." "Have I? Did I actually? But I must ask, why did you want to be made a slave to Hinata? Was it because?" "No. I wanted to be strong enough to keep her from harm. I wanted to make sure she was always happy. That's why I did this. I wanted to make my master happy. And be the boisterous little boy she'd always know." "Then that settles it. Naruto, I have a surprise for you." He pulled out a leaf headband and substituted his goggles. Iruka laughed as Naruto stood and bowed to her. "There you go, Naruto. You are officially a Leaf Village Genin. Congratulations on passing the secondary Genin exams," Iruka said. "Thank you, Master Iruka. Please, Naruto, it's Iruka, sensei. Nothing more." "Yes, Iruka. Sensei." They both laugh happily into the night as the scene concludes. The following day his new headband was securely fastened to his head. In the dining room, Hiashi joined him. He had heard that he had finally accomplished the one objective that Hinata and he had set out to accomplish. When he played with his new headband, he also noticed a hint of his former self. "Well, it looks like you finally succeeded. Fantastic work, Naruto. I'm sure Hinata would be pleased to see you at the ceremony today. I even heard that you were able to apprehend a traitor among us. Well done, Naruto." "Thank you so much, Lord Hiashi. This really means a lot to me. Now I can serve Miss Hinata even more now." "Naruto, you should not be thinking about her in this way. In my opinion, you have done this for your own sake, not just hers." He thought about how Minato was the same way about family when he said, "I think you're right. But even so, I'd still do it for her. 'Cause I believe that is my goal. He might be the one to fulfill his destiny." They were both suddenly made aware of Hinata's presence by footsteps. She grinned as she charged at Naruto. "Naruto," she exclaimed, landing on top of the shocked Naruto and giving him a hug. Surprisingly, he said, "Lady Hinata." "Another night," Naruto recalled. "Congratulations on getting your headband, Naruto." She wanted to give him a proper thank you after hearing what had happened. Additionally, he had noticed that she had placed some food on the table. "Naruto, I'm so glad you finally understood." "Oh, thank you, Hinata." Naruto noticed the breakfast on the table as he glanced around. "Did you make that, Hinata?" He gestured toward the ramen. "Yes, I did." "Do I?" Abruptly, Naruto was on the ground, bowing to her. "I apologize, milady. I slept in too late. I ought to be disciplined. I can only forgive myself for this act of indolence in this way. Pardon me, please." Naruto continued to rant until Hinata's index finger poked his forehead, causing him to giggle, and he was instructed to get up. "I made that especially for you, Naruto. in order to express my pride in you. For myself. Miss Hinata. Yes. He bowed his head to congratulate you on passing Naruto. But Hinata stopped him mid-pronounce, saying, Naruto, you must stop doing that. As I previously stated, you are my lifelong friend and best friend. I'm not treated like a slave master by you. I'm so sorry, milady. Poke. Ow. Additionally, she reprimanded, don't ever call me that or I'll be very angry. I feel like I'm just using you. Once again, she prodded him, saying, oh, my apologies. For the remainder of the day, please refrain from apologizing to me. I want you to behave normally from now on. Not a servant, huh? I want to make sure you're not a robot and are always happy. I told you I wanted you, not a personal servant. Would you please do that? She kissed him on the cheek and said, of course. I will try my best. Thank you, Naruto. I'll try to make sure you're normal again from now on. Okay. I wish we could play games together again. I want you to be yourself and smile the way you always have. Hinata, I'm at a loss for words. When another servant entered carrying the food for Hiashi and Hinata, she took a seat beside him. I know what you can say. Let's eat. She split her chopsticks. Hiashi and Naruto repeated her actions. Let's eat. In the academy. Talking among themselves the following day, Sakura and her posse discussed how Naruto had prevented a traitor from escaping with a scroll, and they even questioned whether they should allow him to retake the test since the next time he could do so was the following week. After achieving this feat, I wonder if Naruto received his promotion. He's such a hero, man. Indeed, who would have believed that Mizuki was acting on orders from another person? With a remark from Sakura, Ino said. If anything they have to give it to him now. Sasuke replied. If they don't I'm fighting. Me too. We would never desert him because he is one of our friends. He must stay with Hinata. Ino yelled to the entire class, and just as she did, Hinata and the man everyone had been talking about were there. They all stood up and congratulated Naruto on a job well done, and Shikamaru was shocked that he could join them. All right. It appears that you will be able to join us after all. Isn't that unique? Yes, I am happy that Iruka-sensei gave me this. I can now assist Hinata even more. Granted you're in the same team as her. Anyway, no one else will get Hinata from me. I'm not going to break my pledge of loyalty. Kid, keep dreaming. You're no longer Hinata's little bosom buddy. She no longer wants to spend time with you. The one person who had been watching the entire situation emerged from the crowd. It was a new child that Sakura, Ino, Sasuke, Shikamaru, or even Shino had hardly seen. He had brown hair and 2 red spots on his cheeks, and his viper-like eyes were staring at Naruto like a lost soul. And why are you so certain? Because you must mature. This little charade of yours is not going to work. Therefore, stop daydreaming and accept what has been offered to you. No inquiries were made. Is that your only statement? Just stating the facts, kid. I don't mind if you accept them or not. I don't give a damn. I simply don't want to let you down. Inuzuka Kiba. If it's okay with you, Naruto Uzumaki. I want to begin allocating the teams. Iruka was holding a piece of paper, and they both looked back at her. So, I will start with the following people as they are the first pick. When I call your name you will stand up, is that clear? Everybody gave a nod. Kiba is now staring at Naruto. I hope this doesn't hurt you too much, but let's face it, things like you and that Hyuga weirdo aren't going to last forever. Well, kid, it's been fun. Iruka called out, Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke stood up and nodded. Sakura leapt to her feet and gave Ino a victory sign, saying, Sakura Haruno. Hooray! Sasuke and I get to spend time together. She told herself, I'm going to be fine as long as it's not that Kiba kid. With Kiba shrugging, he stood up and said, and finally, Naruto Uzumaki. Stand up. Told ya kid. Hinata cast a worried glance down at him. Oh no, are they going to? Squad 7 will be your assigned squad. Sasuke glanced at Hinata, who had her hand on her chest, and said softly, Hinata. Naruto cleared his throat abruptly. I hope you 3 are able to get along from now on. Sakura jumped up, relieved that she had not been stuck with Kiba. Iruka-sensei. I have something I would like to say. Go ahead, Naruto. Hinata and Sakura turned to face Naruto and the other students, and Kiba sat there, perplexed. Kid. I wouldn't do that if I were you. This is as good as it's gonna get. You're making a big mistake here. The entire class gasped when he said, I am sorry, sensei, but I must refuse this squad selection. Hinata was the most shocked. Naruto was standing and staring at Iruka when she looked up. Naruto, come again. I demand that she be moved right away to my team. I will not be on a different team from my master. He's doing this for her, Sakura thought, which surprised but humbled every sentient being in the room. Naruto the Hokage made these teams. You can't argue with this decision. Well, not exactly. Iruka was abruptly cut off when someone entered his class. Lord Hokage. Iruka bowed, and the entire room went silent as they all repeated what she had just said. Iruka, what appears to be the issue? Naruto requests an immediate transfer of Hinata Hyuga over to his team. Really? Hiruzen gazed into the eyes of the three preteens, paying particular attention to the blonde one. What authority do you have, Naruto, to ask for Hinata to join your group right away? Hiruzen was suddenly the inquisitive man again, and Naruto stood up calmly and spoke. According to Section A Law 1357 B, which states that slaves and masters were common during the Shodai Hokage's rule, then, in order to enable the slave to carry out his protective role, a slave and master who both pass a ninja exam during the time when the teams are assigned may ask to be transferred to each other's team. Hiruzen gazed in amazement at Naruto while he smoked his pipe. This young man might also make a good lawyer. Is that child so young? Do you want to be reassigned for that reason alone? I want to be by Hinata's side because I believe it is my place, but that is not all, Lord Hokage. For both her and my own benefit. Are you certain of this? This type of arrangement would suit you better? Hiruzen smiled a little on the inside and said, Yes, Lord Hokage. I do. He was well aware of the boy's current situation and believed that fighting for his freedom was just as important to him as it was to those around him. Attaboy Naruto. You're just like your father. My boy, Minato would be extremely proud of you. Iruka. Hand over that paper if you don't mind. Alright then. Sakura Haruno. Iruka handed the paper to Hiruzen while glancing at the plight of Hyuga in the back. Yes, Lord Hokage. Yes, Lord Hokage? Something tells me I'm not going to like this, she said, aware of the direction this was taking. You have been moved to Team 8, alright? With Shino Aburame. Shino. I know him, so we should be fine, I think. Kiba Inuzuka as well. What? When Sakura felt the Hokage's gaze on her, she stopped. Kiba was also taken aback. The little punk did it after all. Well, lucky little brat. I guess I'm stuck with Pinky. Already scolding herself, Sakura said, Damn it all. That strange Kiba kid got me stuck. I had Naruto and Sasuke, too. Well, whatever. I suppose it's for the best. In any case, I would have most likely done the same. Hiruzen turned away from Hinata and said, Hinata Hyuga. Yes, Lord Hokage? You have been moved to Team 7 with Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha. Yes, Lord Hokage. I understand. All right, then, Sarutobi said, returning the chart to Iruka. That's all. Go on, Iruka. I apologize for disturbing you. No, it's quite all right, sir, carry on. Yes, sir, he announced the remaining teams, and after their last lesson, he looked at Naruto once more. Naruto saw the look and knew exactly what he was going to ask. Please, Naruto, accompany me. Naruto glanced down at Hinata, who gave a nod. Yes, Lord Hokage. Hinata had interrupted him as he was ready to depart. Naruto. Please take care and come back to me as soon as you're done. Yes, Hinata. Before they left, she came over to say goodbye and promised to get back to you. In his workplace. Upon entering, Hiruzen sat in his chair and smoked his pipe. After 10 or so seconds of blank stares, he cleared his throat. How is everything going, Naruto? It is fine, Lord Hokage. You were well treated? Yes, I get good treatment from Hinata. Are you truly content? Naruto paused for a short while. Yes. Are you certain that you are speaking? Hiruzen simply had to inquire. How is that? You think you're content as a slave because of that seal on you. That the way things are in your life is ideal. This is to make sure the slave doesn't take back control and either flee or kill his master. He said defensively, I would never do anything against my master. I understand. However, I would like to know if you are genuinely content with your life as a slave. Naruto paused for a few more moments to reflect. Yes, I am. Naruto stood up and walked out of the office, leaving Sarutobi by himself as he made his way to the academy. That's right, Hiashi. Hiashi emerged from the corner, observing the entire scene from the shadows. He wouldn't have taken the time to respond to these inquiries if he was completely under seal. He would have responded right away, claiming that Hinata would never harm him and that everything was okay. In that regard, I trust him. But I can't tell if he's truly happy, he said, gazing out the window at the village. Hiashi, only time will tell. He will eventually be able to get past this challenge, just like you said. It didn't matter who was at fault. Naruto had to keep his hope alive. When he got to the academy, the only people left in the class were Sasuke and Hinata, so they decided to join each other in the back of the room. Yes it will. Yes it will. They said after watching the boy leave the tower toward Hinata. What did the Hokage want Naruto? I mean if you want to tell me. He asked how things were at the Hyuga compound and if I was happy. How did you respond to him? I told him that everything was fantastic and that I was delighted to be of service to you, Hinata. That is still something I firmly believe in. He bowed and took a seat beside her. After an hour of waiting, Hinata started to grow weary and rested her head on Naruto, who he could see was chatting a little in her sleep. Sasuke was also sound asleep on his desk. Her voice was low as she said, Naruto. Yes, milady? Naruto, please don't ever abandon me. Never let Hinata. If you want me to stay by your side, I won't. Hinata had never said, I love you Naruto. Thank you for being there for me. Naruto was taken aback. He looked at her face to make sure she was still asleep, and his suspicion was correct, she was unconscious. While they waited for their sensei, Naruto petted her hair and remained silent. 3 hours after class ended, their door opened to reveal a ninja with silver hair that defied gravity and a mask covering the bottom half of his face. He peered in to see Sasuke calmly staring at the wall, Hinata dozing on Naruto's shoulder, and Naruto patting her hair with a disinterested expression. Then he spoke, waking both Sasuke and Naruto from their reverie, and Hinata nearly fell before Naruto helped her regain her footing. They all stood up and saluted him, and he did his best not to laugh. Ah, you must be the Genin I'm with. This was truly a delightful treat for the Junin. Well. 2 Kek Genkai. And Naruto. This is going to be pretty good I think. My first impression. You guys seem pretty good me. I take it you know all already know each other? Sasuke added, yes we do. Is that all? He poofed into the smoke, saying, nope. That's pretty much it. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. Naruto turned as Sasuke left. Hey you two, you coming? Yes. Let's go Naruto, she said, taking his hand as he walked forward to meet Sasuke. It was just in time that they arrived at the school's roof. Kakashi was there already. So since we are a new team I thought I would like you all to introduce yourselves. Your likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, things like that. I'll start off first. I'm Kakashi Hitaki. I like to read a lot of books, don't necessarily like to sit around and do nothing. I hope you make you 3 the best trip this village has ever seen. Okay you go first. State your name, he said while addressing Sasuke. I'm Sasuke Uchiha. My likes are hanging out with friends and good fine cuisine. Dislikes. Too many to mention. Hobbies. Getting stronger and collecting things. I also enjoy the long walks on the beach. This caused Hinata to giggle. Kakashi took note of his irony. I have no dreams. Only one ambition. To avenge my clan and to help someone. Kakashi thought, help someone? I wonder who. He pointed to the expression Naruto gave Hinata, as though requesting permission to speak, and said, okay. You next. She gave him the okay to do so by nodding. I am Naruto Uzumaki. Servant to Hinata Hyuga. My likes. Serving Miss Hinata, ramen, training. Dislikes. Not being to serve her anymore. My hobbies include helping Miss Hinata's dreams as well as long walks on the beach. Hinata noticed Naruto's sarcasm as Naruto continued to talk about himself. He said, that's the first time he's actually done something like that. I wonder. My dreams are to always be Milady's side and protect her. Kakashi turned to their final member and reflected, I had heard this boy was taken in by the Hyugas. But I don't think this looks right either way you slice it. All right, then. It's your turn now. Give us your name and a brief introduction. Hinata Hyuga is my name. He noticed some nervousness in her speech. My likes are Naruto, my family, and my dislikes are pretty limited. My hobbies are gardening and hanging out with Naruto and my friends. My dreams are to help someone and to unite my clan as one. Both Kakashi and Sasuke were staring back at Naruto when they thought, let me guess. Kakashi took a moment too. All right, I have a Hyuga with an inferiority complex, a slave, and an antisocial. This must be the most peculiar Genin team ever. I don't get any fangirls or anything, at least. In the meantime, someone must be talking about me, Sakura said with a sneeze. All right, then. Arrive at training area 7 promptly at 7 p.m. I advise you to postpone dinner. Why? Sasuke inquired. Cause you'll throw up. He was covered in smoke, and no one could see him after that. Sasuke said, there's something wrong with that guy. What's the reason behind that? Hinata was asked. Something about him screams out. I don't know. Something like along the lines of perversion. You think he's a closet pervert? I don't know. But anyway, I'll be heading out. Gonna grab my stuff and go over. See ya guys. They waved goodbye to one another and parted ways, saying, okay Sasuke, see you soon. Hinata saw Naruto behaving strangely on the way to the house. She chose to ask him. Are you okay Naruto? Is there something on your mind? He recalled the class's words, and then an image of her appeared in his mind. Hinata brought him back to reality by waving at his eyes. She questioned, you worried about the test? Naruto chose to follow her advice. He did not wish to cause her any concern. Yes. I hope we pass Hinata. Me too Naruto. She gave him a comforting smile. Thank you for cheering me up, but I must insist that I be the one to work hard for the both of us. Don't push yourself, Naruto. Just try your best, okay? He smiled again. He only wanted to assist her, even though she was constantly pressuring him to do things on his own. It almost felt like he was the master and she was the slave. When they arrived home, he pushed the idea away. At the front door, they noticed Hiashi. Naruto bowed his head as Hinata rushed into his arms. Hinata, go to your room and wait for Naruto to join you. I wish to talk to him, okay? Yes father, she said, leaving them alone and going inside. Hello Naruto. Hello Lord Hiashi. Naruto. I have a surprise I want to give you. Something that the Lord Hokage has given to me to give to you. Lord Hiashi? He asked, tossing him some scrolls, which Naruto opened with interest. He believed he had lost the jutsu and fig thing styles, but he discovered they were still there. Did Lord Hokage give these back to me? He discovered this scroll bearing your name, and he knew you would be pleased that they were once again in capable hands. Naruto was pleased that he had retrieved them. He could now protect his master by learning the just you. Naruto thanked Hiashi with a bow. Thank you. Naruto. I would like you to take these scroll and practice as hard as you can. This is your chance to shine. Okay. Naruto gave a bow to Hiashi. Hiashi nodded, and Naruto departed to reunite with Hinata. I'll do my best, Lord Hiashi. Neji, little Hanabi, and the three had entered the house to spend some time there. After that, the young girl entered to speak with Naruto. Big brother. How are you? With her arms wrapped around his neck, she said, Lady Hanabi, I am fine. How are you? I'm okay. I learned a lot today, so now you have to keep your promise to me. That's right. What game do you want to play, Lady Hanabi? We're gonna play good guy bad guy. I want to be the good guy and you be the bad guy. Very well. Then prepare to be defeated, you do-gooder. They played their little game all night long. I won't let you take over the world. I will win the day. They said. Hinata had seen them enjoying themselves. As the scene unfolded, she was thinking about how she and Naruto used to play together. She knew in her heart that the young boy was still there, still laughing, playing, and smiling. Knowing that one day he would be the little boy she had become so close to over the years, she sighed. The morning after, Naruto arose as early as possible, slipped out of bed, and put on his clothes. He dashed to the vast training area connected to the forest at the Hyuga compounds. He began making a series of hand signals that ended with the distinctive cross when no one else was around. Multi-shadow clone Justu. Suffused with smoke. Suddenly, there were 1,000 clones standing in the clearing. Despite the fact that he had undoubtedly made more in the forest, Naruto was disappointed. Perhaps I can help? You again? Who are you? Is that any way to treat a friend, Naruto? I've been with you for so long. Then again, I can see you've been a bit selfish. Even with that girl with you. I wouldn't think you'd remember me even after this. Are you someone I needed to remember? Just call me Fox. Fox. You're the nine-tailed fox. Mizuki was telling the truth. And we have a winner for most successful at being Captain Late. Samantha tells him what's he's won, he yelled. Huh? Who's Samantha? Never mind that now. So I take it you've woken up? Yes indeed, been catching up on my beauty sleep. I see. Then are you going to help me? I don't have much of a choice, Mussolini. Who's that? Never you mind that now. You want to master that multi-shadow jutsu perfectly, right? Yes I do. I want to know how far I can take this. I'll do my best to assist you, but don't expect me to make you softer, boy. Your ass is practically mine. Well, Fox, I would really appreciate your assistance. 2,000 more clones appeared this time after Naruto had his clones execute the jutsu. They all nodded, one trying to learn basic ninjutsu, the other trying to beat him up for taijutsu, and a shadow had been watching him practice the entire time. Okay then boys. Let us begin then. Has he been acting in this manner all day since the beginning of the morning period? With that thought in mind, the shadow had already dissipated, leaving behind a small piece of evidence, a short, feminine hairlock. Mid-morning. After a satisfying breakfast approximately an hour earlier, Naruto and Hinata arrived at Area 7 to wait, and a few minutes later, Sasuke appeared beside them on the field, followed by Kakashi approximately 10 minutes later. I apologize for being late. I had to take the long route because a black cat crossed my path. Kakashi thought he might hear a banshee yell, "You're late," or "liar," for some reason. However, it never materialized, so he dismissed it and spoke with his team. Meanwhile, Sakura let out another sneeze. Wow, who's talking about me? Kakashi held up 2 bells and said, okay then. This is going to be your final real Genin test. I present to you these bells. You need to take a bell from me, and whoever get one passes, whoever doesn't fails and is sent back to the academy. Kakashi. Sensei, there's only 2 bells. Kakashi looked at them for a response, but he received none. Exactly. As you can see, the odds are against you. This means one of you will fail and be sent back to the academy. Now you see what you have to do. Tough crowd. Our exams begins right now. He sprang to his feet and ran with all his strength to Kakashi, saying, I will retrieve the bells for you, Miss Hinata. He made the decision to open his small orange book. The whole time, he was playing with Naruto. When Sasuke made the decision to leap in, Kakashi caused him to collide with him. Nice try, but you'll have to do better than that. Screaming, why you? Come here, was Sasuke. Hinata had also butted in to help him. As they attacked Kakashi, they each said, I'll help you, Sasuke. He could see the genius in the way both clans fought. You two are good. But still not there yet, she said, barely avoiding Sasuke's fist. They both went down. Naruto joined Sasuke as he dismounted Hinata. As they nodded, they left. Scatter, guys. Wondering where they had disappeared to, Kakashi could only gaze at the tree. I half expected them to turn on dysfunctionally. What are they planning? Did they figure it out yet? In the forest, somewhere crammed in front of one another, Sasuke, Naruto, and Hinata were attempting to recuperate by hiding in a bush. All right, what's going on, Hinata? This test, it doesn't make sense. There are no 2 Genin man teams ever. What does he want from us, then? Sasuke inquired. Teamwork, was Naruto's response. That's your grand plan, that's all. When we end up being separated, how will 3 people collaborate? Naruto, this is going to go badly anyhow. I think I have an idea. Then tell us, Naruto. Let us know what you believe we ought to do. After outlining the plan for them, Naruto said, okay, so this is what we will do. Returning to Kakashi when he heard a rustle in a bush, Kakashi was standing there when he turned to see a squirrel crawl out of the bush and approach him. The squirrel stood on its legs and gazed at him while munching on a nut. Then another squirrel appeared beside it. How cute little squirrel, staring at me. Ah, a squirrel couple. Kakashi felt one of the squirrels bite him while reaching down to pet it, and the other squirrel jumped on him and started biting him. Fucking squirrels, ah. After he managed to shake them off, he jumped into the air and made a few hand gestures. Die squirrels die. Kaden. No justu, great fireball. The squirrels were caught in the just you as they all poofed into the smoke after Kakashi threw the enormous ball of fire at them. Shadow clones. He heard another just you being released as he came to terms with what had happened. Kaden. No justu, Phoenix Immortal Fire. Kakashi was in the air still and nearly got hit by the fireballs, but he managed to avoid them by flipping and landing, but it wasn't over yet. He kept avoiding the fireballs, pushing him back to the forest when he realized how close he was to it, but it was too late. Hinata then appeared to crash into him, but he managed to avoid it by pushing backwards, but he ran straight into a fireball that hit him in the back and knocked him forward. He then appeared to crash into Hinata, but flipped and landed a safe distance from them in the tree. He checked his waist for the bells, but they were gone, and he looked out and saw Hinata holding 2 small bells in her hand. He walked out towards her as Sasuke caught up to them. We planned the crash and that's when I grabbed them. After saying, congratulations, Hinata, Sasuke and Kakashi searched for Naruto. Where is Naruto? When a squirrel ran up to Kakashi, they both fell silent. AAAHH. I know taijutsu. Squirrel, back away. The squirrel then impersonated Naruto. Kakashi waved and sighed. Hello, Kakashi, sensei. All right. I suppose I underestimated the three of you, but even now, you understand what this means. Hinata and Naruto, you pass. How about me? You're without a bell, so what? That wasn't the point. Naruto figured it out already. This was about how we got the bells. But to work as a team to achieve a common goal. That's right. Sasuke was even willing to sacrifice himself for us even though I wanted to do it. As long as Sasuke or Lady Hinata passed, I didn't care. But he put himself on that path for us. Wow. Can't really argue with that, but you still fail. What? They exclaimed. Sensei, that's not fair. Life's not fair. He didn't get a bell. There was no lesson about teamwork here. Just getting the bells. But Kakashi. Sensei. No buts. That was my rules. And that how it goes. Naruto stepped in to help Sasuke, saying, damn. I thought we had it. Then if he's going back, so am I. They stood at Kakashi and said, me too. Instead, it wasn't long before he imagined himself at their age. Even recalling the times when he was always there for his friends and looked out for them. 3 Genin are now acting in the same way, he sighed. Alright. You know there was saying that I used to hear about the true meaning to teamwork. Those who don't follow the rules are scum. But those who don't follow their comrades to the death are even worse. The lesson was not teamwork. At least not entirely. The point was to prove if you three were able to stand by each other. To sacrifice yourselves for the sake of your comrades. Selflessness was the key. And you three have earned it. Congratulations. You three pass. The team cheered. Sasuke and Naruto pumped their fists as Hinata took both of their hands and pulled them in for a group hug. Alright guys. Looks like you're honorary Genin. Welcome to the world of shinobi. I hope this journey is a good one. Kakashi had to let out a silent sigh. And here I figured that someone would mess this all up. In the interim, Sakura sneezed once more in a restaurant. Wondering about her, Shino glanced at her. Are you alright, Sakura? Yeah. I've been sneezing a lot lately. Maybe someone is talking about you. They kept eating slowly. I think so too, they said. On their training grounds, Team 7 awaited the arrival of their sensei. They discovered a month ago that their sensei was not particularly interested in D-rank missions, so they all arrived just a few minutes early. They had been reduced to performing academy students' tasks for the entire month. Carrying groceries, planting gardens, weeding them, and capturing a devil cat. It was still annoying even though they had always caught it because it liked Hinata. Yo guys, was up? Kakashi expressed. Sasuke had already figured it out. Let me guess. You had to help a black cat? Nope. I was just caught in my self-loathing. The Uchiha retorted, wow, you got problems, sensei. No. That's pretty much my sarcasm coming out. It's one of the many lessons a ninja must know. Never mind. What's gonna happen today? Well, my boring person, we have a good mission at last. It calls for us to leave the village, and it involves a miner, but I think you'll be fine. Guys, what are your thoughts? Sasuke asked, turning to face the other two. Hinata's expression was the same as Naruto's, but she was blank. As long as Milady thinks so, I will think so too. Now let's go to the tower. Then, Lord Hokage would be anticipating our arrival, correct? Alright, Hinata. Naruto turned to her SMLING, and Kakashi responded enthusiastically, nice to see the optimism here, as expected of my dear master. Yes, that's right. You're D. Naruto, what is Hinata? Did you just give me another master call? He closed his eyes and waited for the punishment poke, which he received. Oh no, I didn't. It was an honest mistake. Naruto. I'm sorry, Hinata. I was just trying to respect the law. I understand. For today, please disregard the title law. I am aware that your code of ethics, as a servant, does not conflict with anything, alright? At the same time, Sasuke and Kakashi thought, someday that seal has to come off. In the Hokage Tower, Team 7 reporting in Lord Hokage. Hinata, who detested D ranks, sighed at this. Thank you, Kakashi. Well now, Team 7, I have a few more D ranks here, including gardening, grocery holding, and catching Tora, again. This prospect never had to obey the Hokage's orders, so she could be spending her time with Naruto, which reminded him of another law. 6th law. A slave must strive for his master's happiness as long as that happiness does not conflict with the first or second or fifth law. Perhaps a higher rank mission would please his master, Naruto reasoned. Lord Hokage. The blonde said, yes, Naruto? Never one to gripe about much, Iruka was taken aback when he heard the statement. With all due respect, I believe we are ready for a C-rank mission. Naruto. You're just Genin, and Genin completes a lot of missions with a D ranking. Only until the Hokage determines you're prepared. Yes, Iruka. Sensei, but we are eligible to request a C-rank mission since we have fulfilled the requirements for D-rank missions. Kakashi. Sensei, correct? Kakashi gave a nod of agreement. He looked at the two curiously and said, actually yes, I think this time they can pull one off. When the Hokage held up his hand, Iruka halted, saying, even so Naruto, you are just. Lord Hokage. He saw Naruto glance at Hinata and then back at him. Do you really think it's that easy? That I am just gonna give you a C-rank assignment just like that? Or is there another reason you wish for this, Naruto? He asked. No. I feel that this time we are more than ready. Are you sure? This time, he turned away from Hinata and said, yes. All Hiruzen had done was scoff. Very well. I believe you are, as you say, more than ready for a C-rank mission. So you have the right to request one as long as your sensei agrees. What say you? Kakashi nodded. Believe me, I think they can handle it. I think. The doors opened to reveal a semi-inebriated, hobo-looking man with a bottle of sake in his hand. So be it. A C rank it is. You're heading to the land of waves. Please bring in Tazuna. He let an unsightly cough escape his lips as he glanced at the team. His sake bottle shattered that moment. These runts are going to protect me. They look weak, especially the girl. Can I get a guy to replace her because I can't take her seriously as a female? The old man was startled when a kunai dove into the wall behind him. Tazuna shuddered at the look this boy was giving him. Insult my master Hinata again, Tazuna. I will shatter something other than your sake. Tazuna then walked out the door he had entered, saying, whoa. Never mind then. They're just right for the job. They all turned back to the Hokage, who was telling the four about the mission. Ukai. Well then. The mission is to escort Tazuna to the land of waves as his protection from thieves and bandits that have been raiding his little village. Is that clear? Kakashi replied with a smile. He said, yes Lord Hokage. We understand. The other person agreed. Good luck, and should anything go awry, you know what to do, Kakashi. They left after saying, understand. Let's get going then, guys. I think we might have a good trip on our hands. As he left the tower, the elderly man wondered about the blonde who had frightened him. Something about that boy seems completely off. He looks like the loudmouth type. Not exactly servant material. I think I might want to investigate his state much later. Just not right now. What kind of a ninja squad has a servant and his master together in one cell? I may not know much about ninjas, but to me that's not right. He disappeared from view. After the three genin had been separated by Kakashi for a brief preparatory discussion at the base of the tower, he said, okay guys, go get some extra kunai and shuriken as well as water rations. No unnecessary items like make up and toys in. Before Sasuke interrupted. Sasuke shot back, Kakashi, just who do you think we are? I see your eagerness is as astounding as ever, Sasuke. Can't blame me for being in such a rush, but I'd rather not waste any time. I guess you're right. Remember that this is a C rank, so I expect you all there in 2 hours. You're dismissed. Right. They exclaimed as they all hurried to their houses. Hinata and Naruto entered the Hyuga compound's ninja storage room and took out some extra food, water, shuriken, and kunai. They then made the decision to grab a bite to eat before departing and packed an additional set of light clothing. A dango shop was already their chosen meeting place. As the first people there, Naruto and Hinata were already accustomed to being early risers. Additionally, Naruto had ordered some dango for both of them. Both had eagerly savored the delectable confection. These dango were good. Hinata remarked contentedly as she ate her dango. Yes, Hinata. I think these are quite delicious. Sasuke brought his belongings into the building and sat down next to Naruto during their brief moment of happiness. Sasuke asked nonchalantly, you both ready for the mission? Yep. Was their response. That's good. I think we should be able to pull this off. At least we have nothing to slow us down, said Sasuke. This is actually kinda thrilling. We are leaving the village. Finally. This place gets old after a while. I was kind of waiting for what we've got to deal with. The bridge builder seems a bit esoteric, if you get my drift. Hinata giggled and said, I would rather go along the lines to just plain old. Oh well, I can't gripe about it right now. It's our opportunity to discover our true selves. Particularly Naruto and you. Alright, Naruto, let's give it our all, she gave a cheer. Of course am I. Hinata's index finger was poised when a sudden dark cloud passed over her. Of course what? Hinata, of course, much better, he said with a posthumous laugh. Not that I want to interrupt your little, flirting, scene, but we've got to get out of here. Alright, should I, Hinata? The girl grasped his outstretched hand and said, Oh Naruto, you're such a gentleman. The dark cloud hung over Hinata again, and she said, Just doing what I was supposed to. Do as a man. Not a servant. Nope. No reason to poke my head, please. Naruto, you're so adorable. The three of them left with Naruto's thoughts drifting off. I don't understand my master at all. This is no good. I feel like I am failing as a servant. She always talks about me not being a slave. But a friend. What does it mean to be a friend? She said, kissing him on the cheek and saying, Let's get going. She clasped his hand. Does that imply that's how she wants me to serve her? He kept thinking about it until he finally arrived at the Leaf's gates, where he saw Kakashi and the client waiting for them. It appeared that the two were discussing something before the three children interrupted them. All right, guys, all set to go. Let's get started, Sasuke said. All right, let's go. After they all nodded and positioned themselves in a triangle around Tazuna, the elderly man became increasingly interested in the three preteens. This should be simpler now, in my opinion. Something's missing here, you know. I thought the girl would at least behave like what those little children these days call themselves. In the meantime, this is getting annoyingly monotonous, Sakura sneezed. Back on course. Naruto spotted a pond a few hours into the journey. Why is there a puddle when it hasn't rained in a long time? He dismissed the thought and continued to walk beside Hinata. The other members of the team also saw the small pool of water and gestured with their heads, so they moved to the back of the pack. Suddenly, chains flew out of the pool and wrapped around Kakashi, tearing him to pieces. Two ninja jumped out of the pool and attacked an immobile Hinata. I've got you, little brat. Lady Hinata. Hinata instantly froze as Naruto screamed, Come to Papa, little girl. She shut her eyes, anticipating the pain, and was shocked to see Naruto holding one of the ninja's claws in his hand. The other had stabbed him in the side, attaching a claw to the boy. Naruto had to hold him at bay by rapidly generating 3 knives with a cross hand gesture. Just do the shadow clone. A clone appeared hold 3 kunai knives. He threw 3 kunai accompanied with the clone's 3 other kunai knives taking down the ninja. Hinata also made a note about the ninja's headband. Hit and missed. However, why? Dude. Oh no. The other ninja shouted, Give the old man over, or we might just kill you right away. Sasuke challenged the other missed shinobi, saying, I'd like to back that up. Alright, then, you little snot-nosed punk, I'll just start with you. He charged his chains at Sasuke, the Uchiha already grabbing them and throwing them back at him. The chains had started to rotate around him, wrapping around the tree. This bound the mist ninja to the trunk. What? Do you know how to do that? An Uchiha never divulges his secrets. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Sasuke had already collected Kai into his sternum and had prepared the hand signals required for his jutsu. He immediately roasted the poor man, saying, Burn baby burn. With the terrible cries of pain already driving the birds away from the trees, he grinned. Pride had taken its place, and by the time Kakashi arrived to see what the two genin had accomplished, it was too late to take any action. Wow. And here I thought someone would have all the glory this time around. Sasuke sneezed at this statement. He must have been pleased with himself when he said, I think someone was just talking about me. Conversely, Tazuna was already emerging from hiding. He surveyed the scene, witnessing the devastation those children had caused. Now I really am impressed. With joy, Kakashi remarked, Good job Sasuke Naruto. Almost instantly, his gaze shifted to Hinata. Hinata. What happened? She said. I hesitated. The poor girl was already criticizing herself. You're very lucky Naruto is here to protect you. If I would have actually died and they were all that's left with you, I wouldn't have think you to be standing right now. Hinata cast a somber glance at the floor. Kakashi patted her and said, I'm sorry sensei. It's alright. Just remember you can't rely on him all the time, okay? You're not only a Hyuga, you're a kunoichi now. Relying on someone all the time will never allow you to grow. That's today's lesson you three. You as well Naruto. Sasuke. A team is only as strong as its weakest member. That means you have to work hard. Right, Sensei? I understand. Hinata had already received assistance from Naruto. Hinata, are you alright? I'm fine. Oh Naruto, you're hurt. It's nothing. I was doing what I had to do to protect you. That wound looks serious, Naruto. Please let me treat you. He stopped his side from dropping to the floor and said, that won't necessary, am I? Gah. The others are already assisting him. Kakashi removed his hand from the enormous gash on his side. He examined the wound and said, Naruto, let me see your wound. Naruto. This is a serious wound. It's fine, Kakashi. Sensei, nothing to worry about. He pulled out a bandage for him to apply and asked, are you sure? Would I do for a medical operative right now? To her dismay, Naruto bandaged himself and said, I'll be fine. Are you sure you'll be fine, Naruto? I really don't want to see you suffer for this, please. I am fine, really, Hinata. Nothing to worry yourself about. I only did what I had to do to. She sighed, protect me. I know. I really wish he wasn't going out of his way for me. I don't want to see him hurt or worse. From now on I'll be the one protecting you, Naruto. I promise you that. I definitely get strong. Kakashi stopped them when he was done and prepared to leave. He crossed his arms and faced Tazuna. Well well. The demon brothers of the Hidden Mist. That's a surprise, isn't it? Yeah, I would think so. Wonder why they were here. I would think they had other plans. What are you saying, Kakashi? As he started to explain the situation, the team turned to face Tazuna. Tazuna. What's really going on here? You hired us to protect you from thieves and bandits. These are two missing Chunin from the Hidden Mist. What are you not telling us? Alright. You see, I am the project manager for a construction company outside the Land of Waves. We were hired to build a bridge that would act as a commerce highway for trade, import and export. This did not sit well with the local criminal organization's leader, a man named Gato. He's not letting me finish the bridge in time for the first importees to come in. He thinks the bridge would only bring in competition for his so-called territory, and he would lose money. That's why he hired Mist Shinobi. To stop the bridge from being complete. By any means necessary. I now understand. You could have told me this sooner. Sensei. What's the matter? Sasuke inquired. I'm afraid some bad news. We might have been a bit over our heads in this one. What's the reason? Since this mission has been demoted to AB rank, we've apparently been taken advantage of. We're up against legitimate competition here, not just bandits and thieves. Furthermore, they're Mist dwelling ninja from the village. What is meant by that? Naruto asked. We have to return to the village. We're biting off more than we can chew thanks to Tazuna's ignorance. Or should I say deceit? Look, I was considering what would be best for my village. Because of Gato, we have nothing left. Fire is the only weapon available to combat fire. In any case, this mission is too much for even you three. We'll be heading back now. No, Hinata said abruptly. She wasn't sure if she was acting tough or if she was losing it. The other men were taken aback by this, especially Naruto. Milady. You wish to continue this? I cannot let these people to suffer by the hands of this evil man. We must help Tazuna. Please, that's the least we can do to help his home. But milady. No buts, Naruto. We're going to help this man. That is my command. Yes, milady. As you command. Sasuke. He pulled out a piece of gum and began chewing on it right away. You kidding? This just got even better. I say we kick ass and chew bubblegum. Good thing I brought some. All right. The eyes have it. Let's move out. Right. Thank you, Kakashi. I really appreciate this. Really I do. As long as you're not hiding anything else, we're fine. I told you everything about my situation. Good. Let's get to it. All right. They exclaimed. In order to communicate with the leaf, Kakashi called forth a ninja dog. Kakashi. What can I do for you? Pakun. I need you to send a message to the Hokage. What kind? That the demon brothers had engaged in combat and were defeated with only one still partly alive, and to send a team to pick him up. Got it, Kakashi. The demon brother, huh? Wonder why they're here. Don't worry about that part. Be careful, Pakun. The little pug sprinted off, saying, right, I'll be right back. Time to get moving then. Right, sensei, they exclaimed as they proceeded to the port that would whisk them away to the beach. Woo! At the Land of Waves. It was now the third day since they had arrived, and despite the dense fog, nobody paid any attention to it. Sasuke said, this fog is pretty thick, isn't it? The Psiloptic sensei said, I think it's too thick. I got a bad feeling about this. In the distance ahead, they heard a sudden rustling sound. Hinata noticed a tiny object emerge from the shrubbery. On the road, she had seen a small bunny. This creature was a small, soft, furred, white, fluffy bunny. Trying to beckon the creature over, he kneeled and exclaimed, "Ah, little white bunny. It's so cute. Here, little bunny, we won't hurt you. I've got some carrot for you. Come on, little one, we won't hurt you." However, this caught Naruto off guard. An examination of the bunny's eyes revealed its facade. A white bunny. But those kinds of creature are never this far south. Something's not right. Damn. He threw a knife at the rabbit, which made it scatter. Naruto had received reprimands from Hinata for attempting to murder a helpless small animal. Everyone but Naruto watched in disbelief as he said, "Naruto, you scared the poor bunny." Unfortunately for Hinata, they had figured out the bunny. He bowed for forgiveness from Hinata. "Sorry, Miss Hina." Kakashi yelled, "Get down," frightening everyone. Naruto imitated his actions with Hinata as he pulled down Tazuna. A big blade that just missed them came out of the shadows. The awkward position of Naruto and Hinata, with his knee between her leg and their faces inches apart, was visible to everyone. A voice from the direction of the sword's path emerged from the shadows once more. A tall male ninja was standing on the sword when the fog lifted. The scornful Kakashi said, "Zabuza Momochi. Kakashi Hitaki. Nice to see you around here. So what brings you around these parts?" After studying him on Naruto said, "I could ask you the same thing." Hinata had already examined his chakra network using her Byakugan. His chakra is incredible. On even grounds with Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi had already extended his hand to hold the three Genin back. "You guys stand back. This guy's on a whole other level than those others, don't do anything unless I say otherwise." Kakashi warned, pulling up his headband to reveal his Sharingan. The eye left Sasuke speechless. How did he get the Sharingan? He's not Uchiha. It isn't possible. The Sharingan, seeing it in action is such an honor. It's high time, too, buddy. I've heard a lot of tales about the abilities of this eye. Could you please demonstrate how it operates for me? Okay, Zabuza, I'll play along. The bridge builder is protected by you three. There's no drill here. Keep him in your line of sight. Right, sensei. After forming up around Tazuma, Kakashi used his Sharingan to scan the area before calling out to the others. Suddenly, mist began to fill the area once more. Hinata. Is he visible? Not at this moment. I can see that this mist is covered in chakra. She activated her Byakugan, scanning the area. It might be hard to find him. In the meantime, a voice emerged from the surrounding darkness, and they all turned to look where it was coming from. I have 8 points. The larynx, the spinal cord, the lungs, the liver, the jugular vein, the subclavian artery, the kidneys, and, most importantly, the heart. Where should I attack next? Hinata continued looking around, but he was nowhere to be seen until... Sensei, he's behind you. Kakashi turned around to find Zabuza aiming his sword at him. The mist swordsman cut him in half. Got ya, Kakashi? His body abruptly changed to water splashing on the ground. A clone of water. Clever. I could say the same for you, Zabuza, he said, as a kunai materialized beside his neck. He cut his neck, causing water to splash onto the ground as well. The Sharingan isn't to be fooled, isn't it, Kakashi? Sensei, he's on the lake. So how long are you planning to hold out on me? Shouted Hinata, and Kakashi dove into the lake, gazing directly into the rogue's face. Until I got you exactly where I wanted you. What are you discussing? This. He ran a series of hand signs, amazingly Kakashi also running through the same hand signs. They spoke in unison. Waterstyle. Water wave. Damn. That Sharingan is watching my movements, said the person as a wave of water rushed from beneath them colliding. This isn't even the half of it, Zabuza. All right, then, how about we try this on to see how it fits? Water clone jutsu is the water style. Kakashi was unable to keep up with the 3 water clones that splashed out of the water surrounding him and all made hand gestures. Dude. He swore to himself. Water style. Just use water prison. Kakashi was inside a water sphere with Zabuza beside him before he realized what had happened. Sasuke, Hinata, and Naruto. Run, take Tazuna. However, Sensei, Hinata shouts. No buts. As far as you can, run. You can't defeat him. The group takes their place. What ought we to do? Said, half frightened, to Hinata. We can't simply abandon our sensei. To save him, we must fight. Guys, hurry up, he spoke bravely. Sasuke is right. We must not abandon Kakashi-sensei in this manner. What are children doing? Let's vamoose, and pay attention to your sensei. I can't pass away now. Stop talking. Sasuke said, you're too dumb to talk. Naruto then said, we need a plan. I might have one that works. Tell Naruto ahead of time. This time, what will it be? Zabuza and Kakashi are still locked in a deadlock as Naruto explains his plan to them. I am aware that you have some time left to hold on, but how long until your lungs fail? That's okay. I'll be all right. Kakashi, you have too much confidence for your own good. There's still your little kid troop. What will you do? I guess I could just stand here and start telling your mama jokes while you try to drown me. Kakashi, you're hilarious. Suddenly his concentration was broken when a kunai cut his arm a bit. They both saw Hinata with her arm out as if she threw something. That little bitch. Hinata had already been joined by Sasuke, who went over the signs for his next jutsu with her. When Sasuke started hurling fireballs at the clone, fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu, called him out. He removed the water clones that contained Kakashi's water ball. Kunai Shadow Clone Justu. Naruto entered next, and the kunai quickly changed into multiple ones that were directly aimed at Zabuza. He blocked the attack with his sword. Hinata took the time to swim to Kakashi's aid as they shouted one more shot to eliminate Zabuza. Water was already coming out of his cough. Fire style. Phoenix Flower Jutsu, Ninja Art, Kunai Shadow Clone Justu. The assaults began. Zabuza is prepared to defend himself. Too easy, he said, gesturing with his hand as the water rose in front of him. He yelled, water style. Water wall Justu. And a wall of water engulfed him and Kakashi from the lake itself. The kunai and fire attacks are blocked by the defensive jutsu. They are both standing at the water's edge when he unleashes the attack. The blonde called out another just you to the mist ninja. Ninja Art. Shadow Clone Explosion. Suddenly, bubbles appeared in the water beneath Zabuza. His ability to plan this far in advance surprised him. The hell kind of genin are these? Boom. He is launched into the air toward the shoreline as the water beneath him erupts. Kakashi and Hinata arrived at the shore. She sat down on the beach. He cast a dissatisfied glance at the three children. Didn't I tell you to run? Those who do not follow the rules are scum, but those who abandon their friends are worse, sensei. We refuse to be anything less than that. Besides, there was something I want you to tell me, Sasuke replied. I see you've taken that lesson at heart. Good job, and thanks. With pride, they said, no problem, sensei. They heard a faint cackle all of a sudden. Very good. Very good. I'd say that team has some potential. Especially those two. The blonde and the other duck-headed brat. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. Duckhead? You've got yourself a fine set of youngsters, Kakashi. Too bad their journey ends here. Oh crap. Get ready, you three, they yelled, right behind you, sensei. Zabuza began to get up and perform his just you. Here I come, Kakashi. Waterstyle. Water Dragon Jutsu. Kakashi's Sharingan saw the hand signals as the water rose on his side as well. Water style. Water Dragon Jutsu. Once again, the two jutsu collided, revealing Kakashi's eyes. From the side, he saw the Junin enter. As he saw a fist aimed at his jaw, he thought, crap. Peekaboo. He connected the attack, sending him hurtling toward a tree. A senbon needle punctured his neck as he stood up. What the? Sasuke exclaimed. Kakashi rushed to check the pulse on his lifeless body. That's it. He's dead. Who threw those needles, I wonder? They saw a masked mist ninja with 3 needs on her knuckles, and she said, I did. The ninja came down and took in Zabuza. I've been tracking him for a while now, and I'd like to thank you for making this easy for me. I really appreciate the effort. Naruto bowed, and the hunter kind of winced at his gesture. You're welcome, hunter. There you go. The hunter was a woman, as Hinata could tell by the way the figure appeared to her. Thought of Hinata. She's pretty. The mask turned to Naruto one last time before disappearing. Well then, I will be leaving you, Leaf Ninja, to your mission. Good luck. So Naruto asked, who was that guy? Those were Anbu hunters from the mist. Every ninja village has them. I was once part of the hunters in the Anbu group back in my heyday. Suddenly, Sasuke noticed him concealing his eye once more. I can tell. You're a lot of things, you are, Kakashi. But about that eye of yours. Sasuke was so intrigued by that eye that he even questioned whether he would awaken his own eyes. I'll tell about it later. For now, let's just say it was a parting gift from an old friend. He dismissed the idea before Tazuna had a chance to get back on track. Perhaps he can demonstrate how. May we leave now? For the time being, I believe we are safe? Yes, we have. They walked away from the battleground to Tizuna's while the previous hunter watched them go off into the distance. She reflected on the boy who had just spoken to her. She vanished into the darkness, leaving a sense of dread in her wake. That boy is something special. I think there's much more of him than meets the eye. I'll be keeping an eye on him from now on. He might be something I'll have to look out for in the future. At the home of Tizuna. A few hours later, they reached the quaint little cabin. To tend to Kakashi first, Tizuna let them in. Kakashi had been placed in a room by Naruto to sleep off his fatigue. Although Hinata and Naruto did not want to be apart, they each have their own rooms. To Tizuna's dismay, they chose to share a room. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow is a big day for us. We might need to discuss some things before we are to take any actions. Good night, guys. Sasuke began turning in early. It was, good night, Sasuke. They had also gone to bed. Hinata assisted Naruto in putting on his pajamas. In addition, Naruto had placed his futon next to hers and put on her pajamas. Have a good night, Hinata. Naruto, yes? If it's all right, can I sleep next to you? Of course. She got up right away and pressed herself against Naruto's back while lying in his blanket. Given that Hinata was suddenly holding him close, Naruto was a little concerned. Additionally, he began to hear faint sniffling sounds. Did she cry? Why? He simply had to be aware. Hinata hid her grief in his bosom as he turned around. Hinata. Why do you cry? What am I doing, Naruto? I said we should help him and all I've done so far is nothing. What do you mean, Hinata? You and Sasuke. You did so much, and when those mist ninja attacked, you saved me. Yet I've done nothing to help you. Even when you were horribly injured, it's not fault, Naruto. I'm holding you back. All I am is just weed on your shoulders. I can never be as good as you two. That thought made Naruto sad. Was she crying because of this? He did his best to console her. She was spared the need to weep for him. It wasn't necessitated. You are not a burden, Hinata. I'm your friend. I am to serve you as such. It was my duty to. Yes, I am. Naruto, if I was only able to fight them off like I was supposed to do, you wouldn't have been hurt. I didn't help any of you. I'm just dead weight. Naruto hugged her. She was undervaluing herself. He wasn't supposed to do this. Milady. If I have failed you as a servant, then I am sorry. I've made you cry. I was supposed to make sure you're happy. Always. This sadness you feel is my fault. If I was quicker, I would have not let you cry. He had already begun to wonder why she was constantly bringing up the seal. Naruto. It's not like that. Why do you always do this? Why do you always do this? If it weren't for that damn seal. If it's the seal you're worried about, it should not matter to you. I made this decision, Hinata. I see you still have not come to terms with my choice. I am sorry, but please understand that I did this for you. Hinata started to sob even more. It matters to me. God damn it, Naruto, I didn't want you like this. I never wanted you like this. Where's the Naruto who would get mad when I would dress up his toys? Where's the Naruto who used to play tag with me? Where that Naruto? I want him back. Please come back. Naruto was taken aback. He was very important to his master. Was he and the seal the subject of all the pouting and prodding? He held her in a closer position until she dozed off. Soon after, Naruto also dozed off. The following few days were spent recuperating from the altercation. After a week, when Kakashi was fully recovered, he woke up. The three children were summoned to the table by the Junin. Good morning. Morning, Sensei. So, would you guys like to know something about that hunter from the mist we've been talking about this past week? Yes, Sensei. You've been non-stop about it. That's because today, I'm going to let you in a little secret. That hunter didn't exactly kill Zabuza the way you think he did. Do you know why? You've told about how they specialize in hitting certain parts of the body that triggered different responses. In this case, Hinata asked, Sensei, you mean to say that he's still alive and kicking? Tizuna had also been present at the table. We witnessed his fall firsthand, so that's not possible. Because the hunter only did two things. Stop his pulse and knock him out. In a way, he only killed him, not really killing him. But how? Those senbon needles are precise and short. If thrown hard enough, they can go through solid flesh. Or if thrown the right way, can even augment your chakra. In this case, fake their own death. Tizuna asked, but why would he do that? I don't know. It's almost as if this was planned. I doubt it. That voice was showing any signs of deception, replied Sasuke. You're right, Sasuke. but even you should have known that may have been a ruse. So with that in mind, we might even expect the hunter to really be someone else, or even. Right. They're in the same team. A young boy wearing a small hat appeared out of nowhere. He had heard what was being said. You must be the one that are gonna stand up to Gato, right? That's right. And you are? Tazuna abruptly scolded the boy, saying, Inari, that's not how we treat our guests. Staring at dead people. They will all perish. You are only 4 individuals who have no understanding of suffering, while Gato has hundreds of men willing to carry out his orders. Admit it. No matter how strong you are, you can't defeat Gato. Tomorrow, I'll make sure to dig your graves. Really? What causes a brat like you to think that way? Hinata held his shirt in an attempt to sit him down, but Sasuke yelled, or do I have to give you a little beating? What does a little brat like you know about us? I can spot a weak fool easily. The blonde and that other bimbo are equally weak. We're all going to die here, so you have no chance. You're such a prick, I'm going to spank you hard. Please, Sasuke. Inari. Why do you treat everyone around you so rudely? Tazuna scowled. Fuck you, old man, and fuck them. You might as well dig your own grave because no one will ever be able to get him out of here. Inari looked directly into the blonde's face as Naruto abruptly rose from the ground and approached Tazuna. What? You something to say to me? Suddenly, everyone in the village heard a loud clapping sound coming from outside. Naruto had successfully backhanded the loudmouth, and Inari had a large handprint with Naruto's forehand facing the little tyke. Don't treat my master or my fellow soldiers disrespectfully. You're lucky that we were even able to assist. We might as well depart now if this is how you express your gratitude. I will never put up with you disparaging my master. Now express regret to her. The boy stood silently for a moment. Hinata reached out to him as he walked out the door, saying, You won't apologize. Then I think even less of you now. I'll be leaving now. Naruto, where are you going? Kakashi was asked. Naruto departed, saying, To train. I'll be back later. She stood up too, saying, I've got to cheer him up somehow. This'll be my time to help him out. She turned away from the boy and said, I'm sorry. Naruto usually isn't violent. He remained silent once more. Hinata followed him without telling him, saying, But even so, he's right. We chose to help you. We didn't have to. But we did anyway. Remember that Inari. At a clearing close by when she stepped on a twig to alert Naruto to her presence, he dispelled the clones and bowed to his knees. She was astounded by Naruto's strength and reminded her of her own weakness as he created shadow clones and practiced his kunai and shuriken just without interruption. Hinata. You alone. What are you doing here, master? Naruto. I just stopped by to check on you. When you left, you looked really upset. Tell me what's wrong. I just need to get stronger to protect you, milady, and relieve some stress, Hinata said, looking down, and this instantly piqued his interest. You know what would help you keep me safe, Naruto? Miss Hinata. What? If you trained me. Is that so? Unfortunately I have orders from Lord Hiashi to not teach you my just you until you were older. Hinata shook her head. That's alright. Naruto is just you for me. All I want is for Naruto to stop making me feel afraid. I was afraid when those demon brothers attacked us because they had a lot of chakra. Naruto, I'd like to know how to overcome this fear. For the next hour, Naruto used his chakra to scare Hinata half to death. At first, she would freeze, tensing her body at the sight of so much power, but over time, she grew accustomed to being able to overcome the sensation from the massive amount of chakra from Naruto. He increased the intensity and kept doing this until she could withstand his chakra levels with some of the foxes mixed in. If that is you wish, then I am more than happy to help. Naruto nodded. I want to use this in a combat scenario, Naruto. Make a clone of shadows and have them spare with me. Hinata, as you will. She had a large number of clones waiting for her, but they refrained from attacking, which was exactly what she wanted. Naruto. Have your clones attack me. I'm sorry, but I cannot allow that order to be followed as it conflicts with the first law of servitude. Ignore the laws. You only have to abide by one law from now on, and that is to follow my instructions. I will no longer be weak. I'm doing this for the benefit of both of us. Milady. Just do it. An order is what that is. In order for him to have that much control over himself, she had to try to get him to hurt her. As you desire, I will do as you say. Now, clones, strike. As time went on, they began to spar, and he eventually found himself dozing off on a tree with his eyes now slipping into fantasy and dreaming about his master. Looking around, Naruto realized he was somewhere in a sewage facility or a very wet basement. A sudden, unsettling sense of dread gripped his soul, and he followed the narrow hallways until his eyes wandered into a large room with a tall cage, the center of which was stuck together with a paper that read, "Seal." Naruto opened his eyes feeling somewhat wet. "What is this?" he said to himself. Not knowing what loomed in the darkness, he peered inside. Soon a pair of red eyes met his own. This caused him to jump back a bit. "What the hell?" Slowly, a dark voice emerged from the darkness to welcome the boy. It said, "Hello Naruto," in an unpleasant voice. "Fox. Is that you?" "Yes, but why the abrupt expression of surprise?" The menacing tone was counterbalanced by Naruto's sideways head tilt. Naruto was taken aback by his size rather than the menacing allure he exuded. "You're very tall." "Oh, am I now?" She couldn't help but giggle as the eyes slowly approached the child. "Hold on. Let me make myself more presentable." Before long, Naruto saw a very busty beauty with long red hair. Her slitted eyes slowly became more human, with her red iris being the only feature that remained the same. "Wow. She's beautiful," Naruto thought to himself, basking in her beauty. The fact that this was the monster deep inside of him was far from his thoughts. "What's so amusing?" did he ask. "Thank you," was her reply. "For what purpose?" "For saying I'm beautiful, of course." "Can you read my thoughts?" "Only when you're here." "Really?" "Yes. It's strange that we're in your head and everything. Your thoughts sound like distant echoes to me." "After that, tell me why I'm here." "I'm not sure. You probably wanted a place where your mind could relax because of the emotions coursing through your body and the weariness from your little party last night. And a sewer was chosen. You're a boy after all. You have a dirty mind," she laughed. "That's slander, you know. I resent that." She defended herself, saying, "I'm sorry. But you walked into that one." Naruto had just noticed a number of additional papers scattered throughout her cage. "These seals. What are they?" Naruto touched his forehead reflexively as he heard the words, "These seals are the infamous caged slave seal." The seal that had been placed on him appeared on paper with green ink written on it. "Is the purpose of all of this to manipulate you and me?" "The you part is true, but the me part is not. Since an emotional slave is bad, you can see that the one on your head is designed to crush emotion. It also destroys other things, like memories, imagination, and the capacity to think beyond other people's level." Naruto nodded as he took in all of this information, but something didn't seem right. I believe they didn't want a slave who was smarter than their master. "So why are these seals here labeled creativity and angry?" "My doing." "How are you doing?" He had the sudden urge to play a game of 20 questions. "Let's starts when you got the seal on you." "Okay. The important ones that pretty much explain your purpose are these three here. The law seals. The ones that run your life." "I see. The ones that explain my behavior toward master." "That's right. I don't get it. All of this to dictate every action I take?" She recalled the day she had met Inoichi and said, "Yeah, when that man came in here to do all his dirty work." Go back in time. Inoichi, who knew all too well who was inside the big metal cage in front of him, opened his eyes and said, "So I finally meet you. You had no idea when to give up, did you?" Nine Tails. "Well, if that man in the mask didn't drag me out of Kushina, it wouldn't have to happen." A big set of eyes appeared close to the cage, and Inochi's cool side was abruptly sucked right out of his body. "I'm shocked she survived the extraction." "Nice to finally meet you. Stop the nonsense. You're enslaving my host by sealing his mind. This is not acceptable. Forgive me, but I must by law help perform this ritual, or it could mean my life. Therefore, you would sacrifice this child in order to protect your own skin. How selfless of you. Please forgive me. I never meant for this to happen." "If you mean what you say." Inoichi looked up doubtfully and said, "Then there's something I want to know before you do so. Teach me about this seal and how to destroy it." "It cannot be destroyed. This seal cannot be broken, not even by the Uzumaki. Their ability to seal jutsu was legendary. This one is simply too powerful. The seal has a weakness regardless of its strength. Minato has multiple seals. I simply didn't want to ruin the good time just yet. It is at its most vulnerable right now. The seal could be destroyed if a wave of chakra were to pass through his body and into the outside world. However, it is impossible to do it within because the seal locks the chakra points. What am I capable of doing internally? If you push chakra into them, they may improperly place themselves. It might even place a little bug in his genetic programming, so to speak." It was her demand, "Teach me how. Finish the flashback." "And that's the main idea of it." He gave me all the knowledge I needed to weaken this seal before it took over your body entirely. To ensure that you could always access them, I simply had to put some feelings and other items that the seal would have destroyed in a different seal. Why? What and why do you mean? Perhaps this infernal seal will one day free you from being a mindless person. I want to keep it. What? I want this seal so I may protect Master. To protect someone, you don't need a seal. If anything, this seal puts your precious Master in danger. Naruto's eyes briefly widened, bringing to mind everything he had endured since receiving this seal. Precious. But I just pay attention to what you have to say. You are leading an independent life. That seal is only impeding your personal development. It's gradually weakening you. You must fight this if you truly want to protect her. But the whole reason why I did this was to stay closer to her, so she wouldn't get hurt. When you genuinely wish to keep someone safe, you want their happiness, but that doesn't mean you have to give up your souls. She is unhappy because of this seal. She wants the conceited little idiot she knew to return to the world as the boy she loved. I am aware, but still, I'll gladly deny my own existence for her if losing myself means she's safe and sound. Naruto, you're too innocent. All right, then. However, I caution you, she banished he into reality before Naruto could question who he was. I won't let these seals control me either. Whether you want to or not, they're coming off. All of them. Including the one he put on. External environment. When Naruto opened his eyes in the morning, he saw Hinata's breasts against his face. His brain recognized their condition, so he dressed before covering her with his orange jacket and said, "I'll be back, Master. I need to get some fresh air." He sprang away from the stump and started to move around when he felt something behind him and saw a long-haired girl with a basket on her head. "Did I startle you, I wonder?" Naruto said. "No you didn't. What's your name?" "My name is Haku Leaf Shinobi. My name is Naruto. By the way, how did you know I was a leaf ninja?" The boy merely looked at himself and mentally palmed his face. I would think that answer would be obvious, Naruto. Naruto turned back to Hinata and said, "What are you doing sleeping out here? You can catch a cold." She was still asleep. In order to avoid raising Haku's suspicions, Naruto was able to omit the extra activity. "I'm taking care of my master. She came out here to train and we both fell asleep." Naruto nodded in agreement and asked, "So you protect her?" "Yes I do. She's my beloved master." "I see. She must really someone close to you." "Yes, she is." "Do you really care for her? Does she really mean that much to you?" "I never really thought about that. All I know is that I want to be around her." "That's good. I believe that when someone is precious to you, that is when you are the strongest. Don't you agree?" The fox's remarks regarding Naruto's action with Hinata came back to him. You don't need a seal to protect someone, he thought, reflecting on the true significance of Hinata in his life. "Yes. You can say that. It appears that we have something in common, so I'm happy you have someone. I would want to do everything in my power to keep that person safe." "So, Haku, you're just like me? Wow, I thought I was the only one like this," she said, nodding in agreement with his sentiment. "Although it's not quite the same as yours, Naruto, I do care about him enough to risk my life for him. I respect him as much as you respect your master." Haku had also noticed something green on his forehead, so he laughed and said, "Then we do have something in common then." "What that green ink on your forehead?" "Oh, this," she inquired. "As you can see, it represents the connection between my master and me." "So the seal is the reason you're protecting her? Is that your sole motivation?" Haku stood up and said, "I decided to have the seal put on me in order to better protect her. I think you will never be able to protect her until you get rid of that seal. If anything, I would see it as an excuse. Wouldn't you agree, Naruto?" Haku's voice had been enough to wake Hinata up, and before he could respond, Naruto was all around, watching Hinata get up from the stump. At the very least, once she was wearing her shorts, she went to see Naruto wearing his orange pants and black shirt. "Hinata, you're conscious. I want you to meet someone." Haku had disappeared, leaving Naruto to believe she was a delusion. A voice caught my attention. "Were you conversing with someone?" she inquired. Hinata stood up and turned to face herself. "Never mind, Hinata. I was just daydreaming." Naruto shook his head and said, "We should go back now, Naruto. We've been here all day. I'm a little hungry." He grinned and said, "Oh. Right. I'll walk with you." They walked hand in hand back to Tazuna's house. In the home. "You too. Where were you last night?" an enthusiastic Kakashi asked. Naruto replied, "Training. All night. Milady dozed off due to fatigue." We must have fallen asleep as a result of all the training we received. It was strange coming from him, but Kakashi appeared to accept the response. Based on their mutual smiles, he had stored this moment for later and knew the Hokage must have heard about it when they returned. Once my injuries are healed, we will be heading to the bridge to protect Tazuna. Most likely Zabuza will make his attack then, so we will have to be on our guard. Is that clear? Right. Now let's go outside for the time being. We can get some chakra control exercises to get your chakra control abilities in top form. They went outside to an area with many trees and said, "Right, sensei. Start by climbing this tree." Sasuke commented, "Okay. Sounds easy enough." Then Kakashi stopped him with a raised hand. "Without using your hands. That's impossible." He began reading his book as he made his way toward the tree, saying, "Not if you have the know-how." He arrived just in front of the tree's branches, gazing down at the other genin. It's a straightforward chakra control exercise. Try concentrating your energy on your feet and managing the flow as you rise. All right, sensei. Good. Kakashi was aware that he enjoyed himself with his group. As Hinata selected a tree across from Sasuke and Naruto, Sasuke made the decision to inquire a little bit about their specific activities prior to entering the house. "I think this squad is gonna have a bright future ahead of them." "So what were you two really doing last night?" Sasuke asked, raising and lowering his eyebrows in a way that seemed almost twisted. "Training." Naruto blushed a little at his remark. "Don't give me that. Come on, I'm your friend Naruto. You can tell me. You had a little fun last night, didn't you?" "Well, that is to say. You did." Sasuke lost control in his awe and fell from the tree, face-planting the grass below. Hinata wasn't prepared for this. She also fell off the tree with her own faceplant as a result of losing focus. The agitated boy leaping to her rescue. Sasuke, still trembling from his injury, pieced together Naruto's brief ordeal from last night. "Hinata. Milady, are you alright?" he asked. "Haha, I guess it was a cold day in hell after all." Hinata drew the boy away from the group eating at Tazuna's house after they finished their chakra control exercise. Sasuke chose not to pursue them further even though he already knew what they were going to do. Geez, they're like rabbits. Holding Naruto's hands together, Hinata moved away from the house far enough that no one could hear her. She was going to apologize for what she had done to him, and Naruto knew it all too well. "Naruto? Yes, Hinata? Something bothering you?" "I'm sorry. For what? You've done nothing wrong." Naruto's arms suddenly dropped around her neck, embracing her. "Making you have sex with me. It was wrong to abuse my power over you like that. I took advantage of you without knowing your feelings first." "Naruto. Milady, you don't have to apologize because I kind of wanted to get closer to you." Hinata's face flushed red with shame. Was that really what he wanted to do with her? "Really?" she inquired. Hinata gave him a tighter hug. "Yes, milady. If it made you happy, then I'm glad we were able to be closer. Oh Naruto. I love you so much." "As do I, milady." Suddenly, he began to wonder about his relationship with Hinata. Naruto shook his head, asking, "What am I now? Her slave, her protector, and her lover?" Naruto and Hinata dozed off in each other's arms, saying, "No. Master must have just been stressed." From a distance, Kakashi caught them. As soon as they realized they were being seen apart, they said, "Hey you two. It's time we went to sleep. You can cuddle when you get to bed." "He's right, Naruto. We should head back. It's late." Out of habit, he took her hand and said, R. Right, milady." This made her blush once more. Naruto's hand. "It's so warm. Please don't let go of me." "Don't let go of me, Naruto. Please," she unintentionally said. "Of course, Hinata. As you wish." This gave Naruto a clear directive. Hinata did not intend to utter the words aloud, but she did say, "Oh. Thank you, Naruto." But she knew in her heart that she meant it. She wanted nothing more than to feel his tender embrace and to become more than this to him. She never wanted to let go of him. Hinata's desire for more than just his love grew stronger. She wanted his touch so badly that she would stop at nothing to get it. Her own lust engulfed her thoughts of him. After 4 days, Naruto had come out of his sleep. Hinata was nowhere to be seen, he realized. A note fell from his chest onto his hand as he stood up, asking, "Master. Where did she go?" He noticed that Hinata had signed the note with a kiss. "Greetings, Naruto, we've already reached the bridge. Come on in when you're awake. I left you this note because I didn't want to wake you. I hope to see you soon because I love you. Sincerely, yours Hyuga Hinata. P.S. Breakfast is ready." "Okay. I put a lot of love into making it. so please savor it. _carrot. Damn, Naruto said, running to his clothes and putting them on. Why, master? They left me behind. I ought to have woken up before you did. Oh no. He saw smoke rising from the bridge and hurried out the door, thinking, am I too late? I'm failing again. I'm coming, master. As he got closer to the source of the smoke, he noticed a campsite where he had hid from view close enough to hear some of the people talking among themselves. I've heard that if Gato keeps the group's female member as our consolation prize, he will use us to eliminate Zabuza. I'm so excited. His blood began to boil. I heard she's a real looker. How dare he talk about my master in such a manner? Naruto left his spot when someone from outside the tent ran inside, panting heavily. Naruto had once again slipped out of sight. A ninja is on the way. From the tent, he saw the smoke. Was Naruto being spied on? The group leader should have caught them before he left the house. We're all screwed. He came out to speak with the thug. You mean that he's coming? I saw him run out of the house we were supposed to spy on and he saw the smoke. We've been found out. Track him down and stop him, and you lead him to our campsite? You fool, now? You heard him. Search the entire camp. No need. Naruto had a kunai on his throat when the other thugs turned around. Where is my master? Do you have her? Master? You little punk. We've got nothing you want. Naruto threw the knife at the assailant, knocking the boss off in the process. Boss, hold on, I'll stop him. His attacks brought down the thugs one by one. By the time he finished with them, they were all unconscious. In his own sandals, the leader had trembled. No please. Spare me. I didn't mean to. I'll give you anything. See that safe? It's filled with stuff we swiped from these lands. You can have then all. Please. The combination is 2109. Your possessions don't matter to me. Now, do you have my master or not? He barked. Look, I don't who you're talking about, but we don't have your master. We don't. If you're lying, you're as good as dead. He saw a beautiful looking sword on the man's waist. He picked it up and looked at the beautiful weapon. Where did you get this? Naruto pointed the blade at his forehead and said, Look, I just stole that sword. You can keep that too. Just let me live. Please. Suddenly, the leader felt a warm liquid running down his leg. You should be running. Don't let me catch you here when I find out you took my master away from me. The little pansy ran as fast as he could, terrified to death. Oh God! Help me! Gah! Feeling someone behind him, he took the sword and left the tent. He unsheathed the sword and turned around. He shouted, Who goes there? The tent flap was suddenly slowly opened by a pair of hands. A 17-year-old girl walked out slowly, nude, and Naruto's eyes widened. As more young, nude women emerged from the tents surrounding him, Naruto asked, Are they all gone? He also pointed out that they were all half-beaten and nude. She's not master. Who is she? He asked. Who would do such a thing? This Gato is a terrible person. Yes, they are all gone. Naruto's females started to cry and rushed to embrace him. After hearing the news, all the females in the area flocked to embrace or kiss him. Some even used their huge chests to glomp the poor boy. Oh my hero. Thank you so much. I thought no one would come to rescue me. Thank you so much. My prayers have been answered. You've come to save us. With so many breasts slapping his face, he hardly managed to say, no trouble at all. After 20 minutes Naruto broke the safe containing the goods and said, Please take all this money and buy everyone here a set of clothes. He also discovered a scroll there, which he placed in a ceiling scroll after determining it would be useful to him. Once more, the naked woman sobbed and gave him a hug. You've saved us from him. We were taken in as sex slaves. Because of you we're free. A woman in her 20s came up to him and said, It's no trouble at all. Although, I want to ask about the sword. She had covered her nipples with her hands. That blade belonged to my father. He was a renowned swordsmith known for his craft all around the elemental nations. It was passed on to me before he died. Naruto showed her the sword and bow, saying, Then this belongs to you. She returned it to him. You may have it, young man. I'm sure he would want someone as pure and brave as you to wield his sword. Naruto gave a bow. She sobbed a little more and said, Thank you. I hope that knowing that this blade is in good hands comforts you. Her words resonated in his heart, reminding him of Haku's and the Fox's statements. Thank you. It does in a small way it feel like my father found a way to protect me by sending you. Even in death he always protected me. Now that duty falls to you, Naruto. Go and protect those close to you. The girl from earlier had emerged from the crowd and bowed to Naruto once more. Right. I will remember to use this as your father intended. Thank you for everything, Naruto. I feel like I owe you so much. Naruto was about to leave when the girl took his hand. It's okay, but I have to go now. I have to meet with my master. She needs my help. Wait. Yes. May I know the name of my savior? He bowed as he said, Naruto Hyuga. I'll remember you, Naruto Hyuga. Remember me too, okay, hero? She said, leaning in to give him a brief kiss on the lips. She stepped back into the crowd and said, by the way, my name is Yumi. Your master is a lucky girl. I hope she takes good care of you, Naruto. I hope we can meet again someday. Good luck, okay? Thank you all. I hope you return safely. They all waved and said, goodbye, Naruto. We'll always think about you. The other girls tore pieces of fabric from the tents and made blouses and skirts out of them. In an attempt to reach the others, Naruto ran as quickly as he could. I must get to the bridge fast. At the bridge, Team 7 was having a terrible time. Sasuke had the bridge builder under his protection. Naruto was nowhere to be seen because of all the fighting. The blonde's absence from this crucial battle was causing concern among everyone. Hinata and the masked ninja who killed Zabuza were engaged in combat. There's no use in stopping me, Leaf Ninja. I outclass you in this fight. Hinata sped to her hands so quickly that her chakra formed a bubble shield, successfully obstructing the barrage of needles. I won't be beaten, so 8 trigrams, she exclaimed. The assault was defeated by her Tenshik. Her recuperation time is being negatively impacted by her physical limitations. Haku knew Hinata couldn't avoid her next round, so she launched it. As the needles approached her, she tried to block them with her blood-soaked arms. Before the needles could hurt Hinata, a sudden flash of shadow materialized in front of her. Naruto had taken the needles with gusto, much to everyone's surprise. Naruto. You made it. Sorry I'm late, master. I've failed in protecting you, but not anymore. I thought you would have read the letter. We were just watching over Tazuna when they showed up. He turned toward the masked attacker and said, I see. Then let me handle this. You'll pay for this dearly. Shadow clone, just you. Before the hunter could attack him from all sides, a number of clones materialized. One by one, the clones were quickly eliminated by the needles, leaving only the original in her. As he prepared to strike, Naruto gazed down at her. Why are you doing this? Why are you following Zabuza? Asked Hinata. The last thing she wanted was to fight for no reason. Naruto experienced the same emotions, but he maintained his heightened senses. I never asked about the relationship between you and the boy, so it's unfair to ask me such a pointless question. I don't need to explain myself, and there's no point in feeling sorry for your adversary. However, he is incredibly malevolent. Don't you see how greedy the man he works for is ruining this place? Naruto jeered. Lord Zabuza is unknown to you. A single person like me has feelings that people like you will never fully comprehend. You will never know. Hinata had stood taking half of the deadly points with Naruto, and Haku had kept her barrage of Senbon needles up, striking down any chance of them escaping as she told them her life story. You won't make it past this day. So I may as well humor you this one time, Haku said. Naruto asked, what are you talking about? What makes you think we won't come out alive? Because I possess something you will never know unless it was given to you. Wait. What are you saying? Have you ever heard of a Kekkei Genkai? Hinata said, yes. I have one myself. Your Byakugan gave you away, Hyuga. Your clan is as well known as the Uchiha and the legendary Senju. Hinata answered, the founders of the Hidden Leaf. Naruto turned to watch Hinata remove the final needle from her chest. You possess a Kekkei Genkai, don't you? You want to see it? Very well, I'll indulge you. Ninja art. Crystal ice mirrors. The two genin watched as the masked ninja leapt inside, slowly encircled by blocks of ice. Panicked Hinata asked, the mirrors. What are they made of? Naruto drew her into a protective hug. Didn't you hear me? These are ice mirrors. I possess the 2 chakra natures of water and wind. By combining the 2 elements I'm able to create ice from nothing. Much like the wood style of your first Hokage. He's quite famous around the world, you know. Having the only ability that can create entire worlds and control the very forces of nature. The masked ninja was nowhere to be seen in any of the mirrors, and she thought, damn. She's strong. I can't tell which mirror she's in without her moving. There was talk of people who knew the same power as I have. In fact, I remember my mother scolding me for using this power. My mother possessed this trait, passing it on to me. She never used the power, of course, but I knew about it ever since I was little. Even on that day, when everything went wrong. Rewind as 6-year-old Haku heard her mother's high-pitched screams. She ran across the snow and asked, "Mother? Father?" Before she reached her house, she ran as fast as she could. She was horrified to see her father standing there covered in a lot of blood. His right hand held a reddened katana. Great and sinister rage was visible in his darkened eyes. He appeared to be in a lot of pain as his mouth slowly revealed his teeth clamped together. "Haku, please come closer. Your father wants to speak with you." "Where is mother, father? My mother is what I want." "Where is she? I'm scared." Suddenly her sixth sense of danger kicked in, fearing the worst. The mad-driven man slowly stumbled toward her like a zombie drawn in ravenous hunger. "No. No. Get away from me." Haku had run as fast as she could away from her father, only stumbling a yard or so after. She managed to get on her knees when she faced the red tip of the very sword which was to carry the finger of death upon his child. "Time to say goodbye, Haku. You will soon see your mother." He lifted the blade above his head and watched the frightened young girl cower. She closed her eyes and screamed as loudly as she could, stoop, just as the sword was ready to deliver a deadly blow. A choking sound was among the many sounds she could hear. She discovered her father skewered in multiple places when she woke up. The pillar had passed through his head, leaving his entrail protruding from the side of his body and his brain pierced at the tip of an ice spike. "Father! No! What did I do? She cried as she fled into the mist's edge. She cried ice chunks as she watched them crash into the frozen river below after stopping at a nearby bridge. She looked to her right side and stopped sniveling. For a split second, her eyes locked with his. She could tell that he was a skilled swordsman and a Junin Mist shinobi. "Hey," he said first. All she could do was stand up against the tall man and say, "You hungry little girl? Want some food? Stay away. I didn't do it. I swear. I don't want to die. Please leave me alone." He gave her a piece of sweetbread and watched her devour it, saying, "It's okay. Look. I've got some bread. Come. You must be starving. See? Who are you, mister? Are you a ninja?" The man felt a tremendous amount of power within her small body and said, "Listen, kid. I don't really feel staying here anymore." He could describe her holding incredulously. He said to himself, "I think I might want to keep her around." He held out his hand shortly after she had consumed the last of the bread. "Where are we going? Come with me. I think you would want to leave here too, right?" The sudden intimidation she had experienced earlier had vanished. "Out of here. Where no one will bother us again. We're not wanted here." "Right. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. I'll show you what you need to do, but nothing further from that. I don't want to be a father figure. Just until you can take care of yourself. Before that you have to listen to what I say. Am I clear?" She smiled and held out her hand to the man. "Okay. My name is Haku. What's yours?" "Zabuza Momochi. Lord Zabuza to you, kid, all right?" He gave her a gentle pat on the head and said, "Good girl. Okay, Lord Zabuza. I promise to listen to you from now on." The end of the flashback. "So that's how you met him. He picked you off the street and made you a machine." Naruto objected. "You've been just something he could keep around until he's got no more use for you." "That is right. I've pledged my loyalty until I am of no further use. I know my fate is to die protecting him. He gave me a chance for redemption. He gave me the life I never knew when I was in the village. They say I wasn't the only one persecuted. Others with Kekkei Genkai were slaughtered just for having unique powers. We were killed for their jealousy, out of hatred of stepping ahead of others on the leap of human evolution. The fourth Mizukage deemed it necessary to begin genocide against those of us who possessed unique Kekkei Genkai. He was no better than my father, who killed my parents only after hearing the truth. Now I wish to only protect my beloved Zabuza as my token of taking me away from the slaughter to one day take revenge against his tyranny." Naruto responded with more needles bathed. Hinata merely looked on in horror. "Naruto." She laid his body on the floor after successfully extracting the needles from his body. "Stop this. Don't hurt him anymore. I won't forgive if you continue." "Out of the way, girl. My fight is with the boy. Stand aside." "No, I will not permit you to do this. Then you give me no other option. I'll kill you and him together. Goodbye, leave Kunoichi." Before Naruto could even realize she was on the ground, she whispered, "I'll make sure to give you a proper name for the afterlife. Bridge, N. In Buddhist culture, some priests practice an art that involves giving the dead a name to be remembered by in the afterlife." She sent a single senbon aimed at her neck. "No." Naruto exhaled, helplessly watching her lifeless body fall to the concrete in front of him. He stood up and held her head, but her eyes were still alive. Blood had splattered from her mouth, and her coughing continued to do so. Master. No. Master. Stay with me. Master, please. He shook the body as best he could, and she managed to pick up her index finger and poke his forehead. Naruto. I told you. Don't. Call me. Master. Silly. She coughed out another torrent of her life's fluid. Naruto sat there attempting to keep her awake, saying, No. Don't die, please. If she fell asleep, she wouldn't wake up again. What do I do if you die? Without you to protect me, what is my purpose in life? Don't leave me, please. Don't cry for me, Naruto. I don't want you to cry. You're free now. I won't burden you anymore. You can be yourself now. Naru. T. Hinata's body went limp. However, it was impossible to determine whether the blow was fatal because she had been knocked out from blood loss. No. Master. Avoid death. Get back to me. From her ice mirror, Haku's head emerged and gazed at the scene. What a dumb girl. She didn't need to be so tenacious. Look at her now. She is dead in front of me. She will have a magnificent name for the afterlife. You now realize that a person's bonds are meaningless once they pass away. You. What? She turned her attention toward the boy, watching a red streaming aura slowly come around his body. The holes around his body slowly regenerated quickly, leaving only holes on his cloths. You. This power. Does he also have a Kekkei Genkei? The assassin thought. I've never seen this power before. Such power. How dare you, murderer! How dare you, I lost her because of you. The fox's human image showed satisfaction in receiving the very surge of energy to try to free herself from her fleshy prison. I won't forgive you. I won't forgive you for this. The aura rotated faster and faster, encasing him completely. His anger had reached its boiling point. Inside the cage, a pair of eyes peered out into the darkness with his head. Showtime. I'm going to kill you. Naruto's power spiked to unbelievable levels, shattering some of the mirrors around him. What? Is his voice alone destroying some of the ice mirrors? Not possible. The Mist Hunter threw some of his Senbon needles, but they were easily evaded, and he flashed right behind the mirror she was in, eradicating it completely. This can't be happening. He stood up, the aura now pulsing around his body. The aura forming the silhouette of a giant fox. Like creature just above him. A fox. What kind of chakra is this? It's so foul. Evil. So sinister. I can't even begin to comprehend it. Sensing the immense power, Zabuza, Sasuke, and Kakashi halted their battle on the other side of the bridge. What is this evil chakra? God! It's more repulsive than mine. Sasuke's astonished expression was clear as he watched the energy's epicenter with his recently found Sharingan, fully aware of who that power was. Sensei, Naruto has arrived. He has red chakra all over him. It almost seems like a fox. The seal can't be it. It's getting weaker at this very moment. This isn't good. Kakashi was worried because he knew the fox was attempting to escape its prison. Sasuke, get to Tazuna right now. This isn't gonna be pretty. Got it. Zabuza. We should finish this before things get ugly. Kakashi, I couldn't agree more. After that, I'll be going to that power source. He set his knife ready to cross blades once more and said, I doubt you want to know what it is. Trust me. Let's go back to Naruto. You're that girl I met. You killed my master. Naruto saw a crack in her mask and saw that the eyes of the same girl he had met before he left to try to protect Hinata were visible through the small opening. You're that girl I met. You killed my master. Naruto continued to strike and pummel the poor ninja to death, taking her body into the air and slamming it to the ground, the concrete cracking beneath her battered body. Yes. It's me, Haku said, removing her mask to reveal her face to Naruto, who was now losing his power. Look at my face. I took away the person you cared about the most. Now, what will you do? Why? You deprived me of my own purpose in life. Why did you do that? Haku was amazed by the ninja's strength and shuddered at his voice. It was for the sake of my beloved person. I did it for protect him. You would have done the same. Why? Do you feel you need to avenge her? But, you were so nice. I wanted her to see you since we were just beginning to be friends. He began to trot with a fist ready to strike her down, his eyes still retaining the fox's red glare. I only used you to understand your weakness. But I see that I was wrong. Naruto. I'm not at your level. I never will be. It seems we have a lot in common, you and I. We were able to see our others in a higher pedestal. Now it seems we are at an end. Take your revenge now. I don't think I should stop. You come get me, Naruto. His steps accelerated further until he raised his fist before something caught her eye. That's right. I can never beat you. Come and finish this, Naruto. Give in to your anger and take my life for taking your masters. I'm sure you will want nothing more than just that. A full inch in front of her face, he stopped. Naruto. I'm not like you. I won't consider myself anything less than a friend toward my master. That was what she wanted me to be. She didn't want a mindless tool just for her to carry around. I hate you more than anything now, but killing you won't bring her back. In a smile, Haku said, Naruto. I see. What will you do now? She was only able to pat his head and say, I don't know. You have a purpose, Naruto. I believe that is the only difference between you and I. I have no other use if Lord Zabuza left my life. I really don't. She never pressured you to be something she can control. I can tell just by looking at the way you talk about her. You want to try your best to keep her happy, not because you were told to. You wanted her happiness. I never wished for anything less than to be used as Zabuza saw fit. Her grin stayed on his face as she ran her bloody cheeks. His eyes were gradually fading. You know, I never harbored any ill will toward you. It was just part of our life. Even best friends will turn to mortal enemies on the battlefield. That was what he taught me. No matter how many people you meet, they will become your enemy in the end. That was why he said to never consider him anything more than just something he could bend to his will. I understand that now. Haku. A swarm of birds suddenly emerged from the fog directly behind them. She squinted, fully aware that something was wrong. After turning around and leaping away from Naruto, she said, I'm sorry, Naruto. I have to go. I've wasted too much time. Haku, Haku. Come back, damn it. He rushed over as fast as he could, seeing Haku fade into the mist. He had to catch up to her as soon as possible. He stopped halfway, seeing her run towards Zabuza to stop Kakashi from delivering his lightning-charged fist. This ends now. Lord Zabuza. Haku launched herself toward the sound, but it was too late. The blow came too quickly for her to stop it in time, and she could only gasp as his body began to fall toward the ground. Knowing that Zabuza was doomed, she went to his side and held his head. Lord Zabuza. Sasuke approached Naruto to check on him, saying, You look beat up. Kakashi turned to Sasuke and gave him his order, saying, Sasuke. Go find Hinata. All right. They looked at Naruto, who was still clenching his fists. Haku cried over his body, holding his head as hard as she could. There was no prying her off. Where is Hinata? Naruto asked, sobbed as she gazed at the ground. He had allowed a teammate to die for the sake of the mission. I see. I'm sorry, Naruto. If I had known. Kakashi's eyes saddened. She's back there, sensei. She's dead. I failed again. No. It's okay. I was just realizing something. I never got the chance to thank her for everything. As they looked at one another, Naruto saw Haku place Zabuza's head on the ground as she made her way to the bridge, ready to jump. Hey Haku. What are you doing? I'm finished. I have no purpose anymore, Naruto, so there is nothing left for me here. You don't need to worry about me. In return for her, I'm killing myself. Try not to stop me. No, Haku. Stop. It is not worth it, Naruto. Please don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, she said, turning to smile at him once more. I'll have to go a day without him if you stop me. She was about to jump when something grabbed her by the ankles, and when she turned around, she saw a bloodied Hinata with a deterred grimace on her face. Stop right there, Haku. She is alive. To the relief of Kakashi and Sasuke, Naruto gasped, but how? Master those needles. It should have killed me if I hadn't planned ahead. I shifted a full inch so it wouldn't hit the crucial spot on my neck because I knew it would kill me. It only struck a nerve that ran from my spine to the brainstem, knocking me out. I was simply knocked out, I suppose. You managed to calculate the location of my Senbon and tried to protect him. I'm so careless. I heard what you told Naruto. I could hear everything around me, Haku. You're not worthless. I won't let one of Naruto's friends undervalue herself. I had been criticizing myself until I heard Naruto's speech, which caused me to pause. If I were still here, I would have a purpose in life. You've given up on the life your master gave you when you commit suicide. Everything you have struggled for would have been in vain. Although I've forgiven you for what you did, I won't be able to apologize if you give up on life so quickly. Recognize. Miss Hinata. She was only able to smile slightly, and Haku mimicked her actions. Assure me that you will never hold yourself in lower regard. All right? A slight blush crept up to Haku's face. She watched all of them looking back at her. Is this correct? Can I actually have a goal? Is there a purpose for which I am here? Haku's face flushed even more when she saw Hinata's arm envelop her in an embrace after she released her hold on her ankles and let her fall back onto the bridge floor. You and Naruto are good friends. That automatically makes us friends as well. What do you think? Do you want to be my friend? She let go after witnessing Haku's tears turn into ice pellets. Yes. Let's be friends. Please take care of me from now on. Hinata kissed her gently and amiably on the forehead while holding her chin. Haku's expression changed to one of sudden surprise. Best friends. The others began to swarm around her, and she took Naruto's hand. Haku was so moved by her words that she couldn't help but smile. Hinata's face turned pink with embarrassment as she said, Naruto, I think I know why you're so thankful. She's a very nice person. It's... not that. Well. She could only laugh at Hinata's sudden outburst, and she was able to get between her and Naruto by taking a hand from each of them. I can't thank you enough for showing me that I still am wanted. Thank you both. She blushed as hard as she could, saying, I don't know how I can ever repay either of you. Please allow us to be your friend for the day. On their left side, she was able to nod in agreement and then hear clapping sounds coming slowly from the mist. Look at that, the great demon of the mist, Zabuza Momochi, has been slain. So I don't have to pay him, however, you are still alive, Haku. You and that Hyuga girl will be my bitches, that's all. You will simply have to die, the rest of you. What do you think of that? Naruto. Stay back. This is my fight, said Haku, who turned to face Gato and his tiny militia without fear as Naruto turned to face them and started to approach him. Haku. What are you doing? Haku, you can't be serious. Even with your ice style, it's too much. She turned around with her senbon ready and planted a gentle kiss on Naruto's and Hinata's cheeks before giving them a final smile. I didn't want to end this without at least avenging Lord Zabuza. I'm not going to waste my life. I want you to stay with her, take care of her, and never let her go. Hinata is a very handsome boy. Don't let anyone take him away from you. Naruto is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. This was my goal now. All I can do is wish you two the utmost happiness for eternity. Haku. Let us help you, she said, turning around and winking at them both in a rather flirtatious manner. It's okay. I know what I'm doing, and I'll make sure this man never hurts anyone else again. She ran as fast as she could, making strange hand gestures that caused ice spikes to form on her hands. He's the one that's in my way. Of protecting you too. Die. For what reason are you standing here? Quit her. The thugs ran as fast as they could, stabbing and thrusting their spears at Haku. She took the blades full on cutting them down one by one until she stumbled toward Gato. You crazy bitch. At last, she tried to reassure Gato that he was a monster, saying, You and I are going to a very special place, Gato. She smiled as she ran toward Gato, who grabbed a spear from the ground and aimed it at her. Haku struck her with the spear, skewering her chest as she pushed it deeper and deeper into her body. In her final moment of strength, she pierced his heart with the ice spike and twisted it just to be sure. Let's go there. Together, she said, looking into his eyes one last time before the life left her body. Naruto and Hinata ran toward the edge of the bridge, watching as they both fell into the icy, dead river below. Haku. That girl. She was a true shinobi till the end. Naruto patted Hinata's head, resisting the urge to mimic her actions. She wasn't just a shinobi. She was the best friend we've ever had. Hinata held Naruto's shoulder, refusing to look past the bridge, her sobs resonating into the mist. Tazuna arrived from behind them with a few of the villagers. The following day, a group of enamored girls, who were the same women Naruto had saved, appeared shouting for the handsome hero, as the sizable crowd of villagers arrived to send the heroes off. To the dismay of both Sasuke and Hinata, the girls went on to proclaim their love for him. So, Naruto, this is what kept you? Sarcastically, Sasuke asked. Well, I believed Milady was imprisoned inside the tent. I never intended for this to occur, Naruto said. I know you mean well, Naruto. Hinata sighed, but I think there should be a limit to this. Yumi, the girl he had also saved, yelled out from the crowd when she saw him. By the way, I changed her age to 13. Naruto. You're there. The women rushed him with hormones raging everywhere. Hinata tried her best to fight off the rabid fangirls from their molesting hands. Get you hands off of him. He's only a young boy, so don't land there. Put an end to this immediately. You know, I had a feeling this could have gone in a whole other direction, said Sasuke. I agree, Sasuke. I agree completely. Tazuna was the one who met them at the entrance to the now finished bridge after the storm had passed. Naruto, you have our sincere gratitude for your assistance during our difficult time. I'm grateful that I was able to finally make the country prosperous. We owe you money. Yes, Naruto, you are loved. Hinata only tightened her grip on Naruto's arm as the fervent fangirls screamed. Damn bitches are relentless, she thought, her mind racing with ideas of mass murder. Alright then. We'll be going now. I hope you can live peacefully now. Before he left, Inari emerged from the crowd and said, same to you. Have a safe trip. Hey. Help, Naruto. Go back, there's something that was left for you, Naruto said, turning to face the back. Really? He produced a mask from his back, and Naruto recognized it right away as Haku's Mist Hunter mask. Yeah. Look. Inari. Who gave this to you? He noticed the note affixed to the inside of the mask and said, I found it at home. I don't know how it got there. But I think it's for you. It's even got a letter to you from someone. Hinata followed him as he read it aloud. When Hinata saw the words written on the page, she was fighting back tears. To Naruto. Take care of her and never forget what you told me, whether you want that seal or not. I cherish you. Haku. Naruto gripped the mask tightly. I won't let you down. Well then. Shall we go? I think the Hokage is waiting for us, said Kakashi. They saw them wave back as they turned to face the village. Their hero is being kissed by the fan group. Inari made the decision to talk to Tazuna after they had vanished from view. After turning to face the vanishing leaf ninja, Tazuna asked, so Pops, what's gonna be the name of this bridge? And instantly thought of a catchy moniker. Everyone applauded and nodded when someone suggested that we call it the Great Naruto Bridge. As everyone applauded, they returned to the town to celebrate. Okay. As of now I declare this the Great Naruto Bridge, I said. The mindscape the fox was no longer forcing her chakra into the slave's caged seals. As the papers began to come loose, she was able to give them a gentle prod. Then Kyuubi fell asleep. Phase 1 preparations. Complete. I hope you appreciate this, Naruto. When I wake up, I will move as planned. A month has passed since the wave mission. Naruto's thoughts returned to Haku's final words. When she died, the Mist Girl captured his heart. She recalled the exact words that echoed in the back of his mind. Take care of her. She's the most beautiful girl I've ever met. Do not let any harm come to her, Naruto. Promise me. Hinata had seen a hint of depression on his face. As they returned to the leaf, she made the decision to lift his spirits a little. Naruto. When we get back, why don't we go out and eat at our ramen restaurant? Okay. Sure, Hinata. She reached for his hand in an effort to make him smile. He gave her a slight smile and nodded, saying, it's a date. Okay. He then turned to face Sasuke and said, okay Hinata. What are you gonna do when we get back? I don't know. Just grab some grub for delivery and maybe get back to some training. If you don't mind, I'll take you up on a team picnic at Ichiraku's if I feel like it. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'll let Tucci know you're coming, okay Sasuke? Just stop by whenever you want to. Thanks. Kakashi discovered the secret leaf gates while reading this novel. Looks like we're here, guys. Good job on the mission. I've got to report our success to the Hokage. You guys have some fun around town. You deserved it. They waved, watching him disappear into thin air. See ya, sensei, they said. A short preteen boy about his age approached Hinata and Naruto just as Sasuke was about to leap away, saying, alright guys. That means I'm out too. See you guys later. His identity was revealed by the red strip across his cheeks. Kiba? Well. If it isn't the little puppy who lost his way. Sasuke. Naruto. I see nothing's changed. He looked at Hinata right away. With an almost flirtatious tone, Kiba said, hey Hinata. What's up? She gave a casual response. Nothing much, Kiba. Sasuke's eyes shot up like a rocket as he asked, so then you want to go on a date with me? Sasuke sneered in his mind. That mutt's putting the moves on her already? Good luck, show off. You ain't getting it. She cheerfully replied, no, thank you, Kiba. Naruto and I are going to go eat right now. Sasuke's small, told you so, smile brightened. You just got shot down like a duck from the sky. Oh come on now, we haven't got out in a while, what do y'all say? Hinata went around Kiba, but Kiba grabbed her wrist as she did so. Kiba, I'm sorry but I already promised Naruto. Hinata fought against the vice grip, asking, and why is that? Naruto stepped between them and grabbed Kiba's arm in his own vice grip, causing him to release it. Kiba. Let me go, stop it, he said. Sasuke is already eager to kill the wolf. Sasuke yelled. That's too far, Kiba. Hinata glanced at Naruto and then back at Sasuke. Kiba said, son of a bitch, and struck Naruto in the face. He was pushed back several feet by the force. Naruto, you can't hang around her so closely. She's mine, ya here. Kiba, this isn't like you. Stop this before it gets ugly, Sasuke yelled. He dropped to his knees and said, stand Uchiha, this is between me and the blonde. Sasuke noticed a strange quality in him. He asked himself, where's that dog of his? This jutsu works better if I had my dog Akamaru. Too bad he's at the vet's today. Take this. Fang over fang. He spiraled rapidly in that direction with a strong wind. Naruto leapt out of the way of the attack and emerged in front of a concrete wall, shouting, Naruto, defend yourself. Kiba charged directly at the blonde, blinded by rage and arrogance. At the last second, Naruto just moved out of the way, causing him to crash face first into the concrete wall. He was knocked unconscious by the full force of his technique. Running up to him, Hinata wiped the blood off Naruto's face with a hanky. Naruto, are you alright? He shot back, yes milady. I'm fine. A blank expression on his face. Sasuke went to check on their well-being. Hinata. Naruto. Are you sure you'll be okay without me? Yeah, Sasuke. Thank you. As he leapt away from the scene, he said, okay, I'll continue. See you guys later. He left Kiba to fester in his own blood. Following their meal. Hey, what do you think you're doing to him? Let him go? Yelled a young girl with long pigtails. She had small dimples on her cheeks and goggles on her forehead. She was shouting at an older boy who had a younger child in his hands. So you think you're tough, huh? You realize we're already experiences Genin, right? We could kill you right here and right now. With her eyes closed, a short, blonde girl with a huge fan on her back said, Kankuro. Leave the brat alone. We can't cause trouble here. We're not in the sand anymore. She was less concerned about the current circumstance and more irritated with Kakuro. Let me go, you bastard. You'll be sorry you ever messed with me. This brat just doesn't know when to shut up. Time to close that little pie hole. Kankuro, come on, we shouldn't be doing this. Slow down, Tamari. I'll just teach him some man. Kankuro halted when a punch struck his abdomen. When he searched for the person who had struck him, he discovered a blonde child holding the child he was going to strike. When the bullied boy saw his fearless leader with Hinata right behind him, he asked, you all right, Konohamaru? He yelled, yeah boss. Let's get out of here, Moegi. She gave a nod and fled with her. He cracked his knuckles and started to move his surprisingly noticed person, whom he had never seen before. Well. ITF, it isn't Leaf Village Ninja. I guess you want to play with us now? He asked abruptly. Hinata looked up and saw someone hanging upside down from the tree. So will it be you two against me? Or will your teammate in the tree join you? She asked. He wore a gourd on his back and had short red hair. The right side of his head had a tattoo. Astonished that he could see Naruto there, he leapt from the tree and stared down at him. Gaara. When did you get here? Tamari said. Oh, he doesn't look happy. She glared down at the blonde Gaara. There's something a bit off about him. I can't quite put it in words, but I get the same feeling I get from Gaara. Could he be? She pondered. Kankuro. What do you think you're doing? Nothing. Gaara. You see, they challenged us in. You're embarrassing us in foreign soil. You're lucky I didn't decapitate you on the spot, stated Gaara. A trembling Kankuro stammered, okay, I'll back off. You are a disgrace to our village. Get out of my sight, now. Right away, Gaara. He exclaimed as he and Tamari left for their hotel, and Gaara returned his focus to Naruto. She gave Naruto one last glance before she left. She left Gaara alone with the two Genin, saying, I'm going to keep a close eye on you. At least he's a little cute. Would be better looking if he ditched that drabby orange color. With a nearly robotic expression, Gaara asked, what is your name? Naruto replied, giving your own name before requesting another is polite. He responded, Gaara of the Sands. Naruto Hyuga. His body was engulfed in sand before it blew away, leaving no sign of him behind. I see. I'll be seeing you again, Naruto. Count on it. Before the boy left the area, Hinata had an opportunity to sneak in a Byakugan. She jolted out of her reverie and turned to face Naruto, saying, Hinata? Something's wrong. Naruto. Yes, milady. Naruto was astounded when he said, that boy. He's like you. He was like him, but what did she mean? Perhaps she was referring to the fact that he was a slave. What do you mean, milady? At the pit of your stomach you have this swirling vortex of red chakra. That boy has the same, but it's just a different color. We have to be careful of him now. Naruto was even more taken aback. Did he carry the same type as him? Naruto had never been more interested. What does it mean, Naruto? I don't know, but maybe, she knows. She? Who's she? Well, you see, Master, it would be wise to tell you this somewhere else. They left for the house after saying, "Okay, Naruto." Hiashi had eagerly awaited their return once they had arrived. Neji was waiting for them at the gates, asking, "My dar. Naruto. How was the mission?" Hinata paused, then said, "It was good, except." "Yes, Hinata." The question hit him like a ton of bricks. "Father, are there people like Naruto?" Was she starting to suspect the fox? "Lord Hiashi. Something has also piqued my interest. For a few weeks now, I've been in contact with something. According to Naruto, it identifies herself as the nine-tailed fox." "I see. Come on, kids. Please keep up your training, Neji. I have to talk to them by myself." Neji's intuition had already picked up on the conversation and he was about to tell them about the fox when he said, "Yes, Lord Hiashi." "All right, about the boy you saw," Hiashi said, leading them to the room and seating them. "Didn't you notice something about his chakra?" Indeed, it was similar to Naruto, albeit weaker and just as malevolent. He had a tattoo on his forehead, father. "Is that correct?" Hiashi pondered. "Hinata, what are your knowledge of Jinchuriki?" Jinchuriki? That was a name she had never heard of before. "Nothing, father." "I understand. There once was a man so strong that he used his strength to subdue a powerful beast. Generation after generation has carried on this legend. He had a reputation for harboring a large, repulsive, multi-tailed creature inside of him. He was a Jinchuriki, the first. He then divided the beasts into 9 pieces from his body and dispersed them all over the world after he passed away. The pieces are now referred to as tailed beasts. The boy you saw appears to have had one of the beasts implanted inside of him. How about Naruto? I noticed that Naruto's father had the same chakra." "Well, my daughter. He appears to harbor one of those tailed beasts as well." She gasped. "It's the 9-tailed fox. The same fox that attacked the leaf when she was born all those years ago. Is it possible for me to meet her?" "What? You must be a member of the Yamanaka in order to meet her." "However, I suppose I could meet her through Naruto?" "Hinata. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. It's worth a try." Suddenly, an idea struck her. "Perhaps I could try to remove that seal myself and see how it affects Naruto. Even though there is little chance, I must try this." Reluctantly, Hiashi said, "Well, you can try, but it will do you no good." He wanted to believe she could, but he knew she wasn't a mind reader. "Let's do it, Naruto. Let's try it." "Right, master." Hinata put a hand on his head as they both closed their eyes. She activated her Byakugan and directed her chakra to her eyes. Everything around her and Naruto turned black in that moment. Take a mental vacation. Hinata and Naruto discovered themselves in a dim, damp hallway. "Wow. This is what's inside your head." "Yeah. But how did we manage that?" A voice seemed to emerge from the shadows to welcome them. Well, if it isn't the lost little lamb and his shepherd. Tell me something. Have you come to save the lost little lamb and return him to his herd?" That voice. So evil. "Milady. Stay close, fox, we're coming in after you." "All right, doll. Come closer. I've been expecting the both of you. It's time we had a little chat." They followed the basement corridors until they reached a spacious, open space with a gigantic cage inside. When 2 red eyes emerged from the darkness, Hinata had been gazing into the shadow prison. They heard footsteps coming their way. Then, out of the shadows, a pretty girl with a big chest came into view. Hinata's eyes widened at the sight of Kyuubi's beauty. She thought of something. "Oh my. Is this what's inside him? What could they be doing in here?" "You can relax, Hyuga. I haven't tried anything yet." She was joking. "What? How did you?" If you're in here, there's not a thing I can't hear. Even your thoughts speak to me." The fox's eyes landed on Naruto's smile, which conveyed sincere concern. "I see. Naruto. How are you?" "I'm fine, and you?" He went straight up to the cage bars as Kyuubi came toward them, saying, "You know me. Trying to get the hell out of her and rid these papers off. Come closer, Naruto." Unwilling to let go, she embraced him tenderly. She abruptly pushed him away, facing the boy down, with gentleness. "Naruto." "Yeah, fox? What is it?" "Sorry, for what?" "This." With a single flick of her finger, Naruto fell to the ground and screamed in agony. Hinata grabbed his head in her hands and rushed to his aid. Hinata turned angrily to the fox and said, Phase 1 completed. She yelled, What did you do to him? You are his loving master, correct? Hinako. Hines. Hinata. And yes, he's my servant, but I am also his friend. The woman eyed her up and down and said, among other things. When Hinata realized what she had said, she became enraged, and may I say you're quite the screamer. That's not the point. What did you do? Answer me, Hinata demanded, shaking her head. Well you see. The fox answered, hopefully weakened the seal. What? You can do that. Hinata never realized that the demon beast had been attempting to do the same thing as her. Yep. Been doing it for 10 years now. She questioned, what's gonna happen to him? She shrugged her shoulders and said, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It means I don't know. It might give him control of his emotions, give him free will. He might return some old memories. Hell, it might even kill him. However, the death thing is highly unlikely, but there's still a small chance of that. Then Hinata stared, kill him. When she looked down at Naruto, she heard his cries stop. She wasn't sure if it was good or bad that he wasn't moving. You should probably leave and wake him up to see the changes. If this works, we can move on to phase 2 now. Trust me, this is gonna work out if all goes well. Hinata grinned. Thank you, Fox. Hinata smiled and said, just call me your friend, okay? She was shocked to learn that she had become friends with a gorgeous demon. The outside world before he stirred, she had been prodding him for approximately 30 minutes. He glanced at Hinata when he awoke. He started to say, whoa. That was the strangest dream I've ever had. Hinata, you won't believe. I had a dream about, but she grabbed him before he could finish. Naruto, you're back, she exclaimed, her eyes welling with happiness. It worked, and she was amazed. Why are you so happy, Hinata? Did I miss something? Don't tell me I was left out of something again. And why are you crying? It's like I was gone for a long time. Happily, she exclaimed, Naruto, you came back. Naruto paused to reflect. Naruto took a mirror and took off his headband, asking, but I never left you. And why does my head hurt? The seal was still in place, he noticed. Oh my god. So it wasn't a dream. I was acting like a mindless robot. Sorry, Naruto. But it looks like that seal is finally coming off. Oh, is that so? She smiled and said, soon you'll be your old self again. After that, we could enjoy ourselves as we did at home. So what took place? He inquired. The seal was weakened by the fox within you. Isn't that fantastic? Her constricting arms conveyed her excitement, but Naruto didn't mind. Weakened it? Yes. Here you are after she gave you a head flick. You're behaving normally once more. We can finally break that seal if we continue in this manner. She pouted her cheeks as though to frighten the thing away, saying, wow. That's cool. But, are you sure you want it off? Okay. It's coming off. Then she had an epiphany. What else changed, I wonder? I command you, Naruto, to say, I despise you, Hinata. Naruto clutched his mouth and exclaimed, holy crap. I didn't mean to, Hinata. I hate you, Hinata. It was released just now. How did you accomplish that? Hinata chuckled. Don't worry, Naruto. She then swiftly aimed a kunai at herself, but before she could do so, Naruto's hands were already on her chest. I'm just seeing what else changed. Naruto sighed, the need to protect me hasn't changed. Don't do that, please. After all, he was able to think for himself, and he insulted her, saying, you scared me half to death, ya crazy lunatic. Can we end this right away? I don't want to prevent you from ending your life. Of course, Naruto. Hinata rose from her position. Pardon me, Naruto. I'll be back shortly. She approached one of the other servants walking across the patio and said, sure, go ahead. Pardon me, please do me a favor. Anything, milady. Go to Sasuke Uchiha and tell him to come over now. The servant teleported himself out of view and said, as you will. Once Sasuke arrived. When he got there, he saw him and Hinata holding hands while Sasuke approached the two. He noticed something strange about Naruto and smiled at him. The Uchiha had never seen him wave his feet as if he was running out of patience. He knew something was wrong with the boy. Is he smiling? He is emotionless. Well, hardly ever but a smile? Naruto approached Sasuke and held out his hand, saying, tell me, I'm tripping in acid or something. Sup, Sasuke. Sasuke was once again taken aback by this. I know this is surprising you, but what you see is real. I've been trying for 10 years to get him to call me Sasuke, but he called me that. What on earth is going on? When Sasuke extended his hand to shake hands with Naruto, the blonde started shaking his hands and only stopped when Sasuke didn't follow his motions. You forgot our secret handshake. Sasuke? Where have you been, dude? This is a magic trick, isn't it? Sasuke was just flatlining in his brain at the moment. When he saw Naruto's chakra fire burning brightly inside of him, he activated his Sharingan and said, "Hold on." He plopped to make Hinata laugh joyfully. "I think I'm going to wuss out now." Naruto stood there with his hand out again when he came to, saying, "Wanna try it again, Sasuke?" As they concluded the handshake, Sasuke became increasingly joyful and almost got his friend back. And don't mess up this time. How did you recall? I'm not sure. With his brother back, Sasuke smiled. I just remembered. Naruto, come on over, boy, you yellow bastard. Naruto fought against Sasuke's vice grip as he leapt on him, knocking him down. Sasuke, leave me alone. This appears to be gay. When did you switch teams? Sasuke. Damn it. Sasuke hurriedly dismounted and resumed his stoic demeanor. Hey, wanna go eat somewhere? I found this new place just outside the usual spot. Naruto chuckled and said, sure. Sasuke and Hinata were taken aback by this. You laughed? They both exclaimed simultaneously. The strangeness of Naruto's actions caused the two to collapse. Geez. You guys act like I was a mindless SLA. Oh yeah, never mind. He continues to laugh. At a restaurant with a Western theme, they were seated at a table for three when a box was set in the center of the table. Sit tight folks, your server will be with you in just a moment. Sure. They watched her go, turning back to the small. Before anything emerged from the box, a brief jingle was heard. Hello. Said Sasuke. The small clown-like object in front of him. Sasuke was perplexed and said, welcome to Yak in da Box, can I help you? He had a strange accent. I'm sorry. Sasuke glanced at the sign that read, Jack in the Box, and asked, welcome to Yak in da Box, can I help you? Then once more down at the clown. Is this Jack in the Box? Yes, this is Yak in da Box, can I help you? Okay. Can I have 3 jumbo jacks? Okay, you want a 3 jumbo yak? The box was silent for a moment before turning back on. Jumbo yak. I don't think there's a Y in Jack, or jumbo. Quiere queso? Sasuke asked, gazing at the box as if it were speaking a foreign tongue. What? Sasuke looked at Naruto and Hinata, who both shrugged, and he held his head in exasperation. Si quiere queso? Well, you want cheese. The box then turned back on. I say, do you want a cheese? Huh? Cheese. You know, like the thing that comes from the moo? Milk. He saw a picture of the cheese inside a burger, and the clown said, no. Hijo de la chingada madre. I mean dis. Oh, you mean cheese. Yeah, alright. Okay, you want a 3 jumbo yak con queso, you want a papa frita? Huh? Hinata and Naruto's expressions are still dejected. They were not making any progress with this. Sasuke gazed at the box and asked, you want friend fry? Sasuke continued to talk, assuming he had their order. My friends are fine, thanks. The box remained silent when asked, what kind of fountain drinks do you have? Excuse me. The box said, what kind of fountain drinks do you have, but said nothing. The clown exited the box and turned on his speaker so Sasuke and his group could hear him say, 1 minute plea. Hey Ramon, this Vado is telling me what a fountain drink is. What is it? Is it soda? Is it soda? Why didn't I get a soda? He told me to drink from the fountain like I was going crazy. They heard footsteps approaching. After a pause, the clown returned and said, why you no say soda stupid? Son of a beach, we got soda stupid. As the box said, we got a Coca, we got Pepsi, we got Fanta. You want horchata? Sasuke's face just looked blankly at it. Sasuke had had enough. You want a horchata? Do you speak English? Yes, I speak English. The clown came back and said, okay then. We'll take the whatever you just said. Mera, eso niños quieren horchata. Okay. Okay then you wait 15 minutes. We'll be right back. The clown walked away. The 3 genin were extremely perplexed. What the hell was that? Someone's idea of a sick joke.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.